Hello, everybody. I am live. Do we have anybody in the chat? And can you guys hear me? Because I was having trouble with my microphone earlier. So I want to make sure you guys can actually hear what I have to say. Looks like we've got some people in the chat. War, good goal. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. All right, sounds like you can hear me. Hello, Dragon Rider. Welcome to the stream. Just going to send out this quick notice that we have begun. Hey, James Jackson, welcome aboard. Movie fan, how you doing? Monster Zero March. That song and Monster Zero March were in my head this morning. The Monster Zero March, that's an awesome tune to get stuck in your head. God, I'm so happy that Akira Ifukube's music is going to be in Godzilla King of the Monsters. It's the little things. It's that Ifukube's music just makes me so happy. We Are Pro Wrestling. Welcome aboard. How you doing? Okay, guys. My weekend was really busy, so I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to actually do the stream this week, but I've got time this Sunday morning. I know it's really early for a lot of people, but thank you all for coming aboard anyway. Yeah, so we're going to be watching Saturday night's main event number 21, the first one post WrestleMania 5, and featuring the debut of the human wrecking machine ZEUS. I cannot wait to see that. And we're also doing Clash of the Champions number 20, which marked not only the 20th Clash of the Champions, but the 20th anniversary, I believe the 20th anniversary of wrestling being on TBS. Which is funny because I saw that the name of this episode was 20th Anniversary, and I was ready to rag on it, very similar to WrestleMania 25, which they kept erroneously calling the 25th anniversary of WrestleMania. And that really bothered me. It's like you're using the word anniversary wrong, and it just, my OCD just can't deal with it. And I thought that was going to be a similar case here. It's like, it's not the 20th anniversary, but if they're commemorating more than just the 20th Clash of the Champions, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. I would love to have King Ghidorah's theme. Yeah, like I have a short list of ones I'd like to hear. Maybe like King Ghidorah's theme, Rodan's theme, obviously Godzilla's main theme, and Monster Zero March would be cool. But I think I'm asking if we can get like one or two, I would be happy. Because that was one of my disappointments with and it was a minor disappointment with the 2014 film, is that, oh, we didn't get any of Ifukube's music. But I understand why they left it out. But to me, there's like that part of, it wouldn't be fan pandering to include the Ifukube music, because to me, the Ifukube music is tradition at this point. It's like the James Bond theme. You have to have it there. Oh, my goodness. Okay, but before we jump into Saturday night's main event and the Clash, I want to review the... Oh, sorry. Young Stacks, welcome aboard. Before we jump into the Clash and Saturday night's main event, I want to review all the wrestling shows that I've watched this week, some of which featured some very high-caliber title matches. Let's start with 205 Live, which featured a four-way contenders match with the winner getting a title shot at the Cruiserweight Championship, Cedric Alexander. Yes, this Clash, very interesting point. This Clash was also the last American television appearance of Andre the Giant, so this is going to be really interesting. Little interesting piece of history here. Anyway, we had this episode of 205 Live. Didn't care for it that much. Again, it's the same problem. It's not that the show is booked poorly. It's just they're in a bad position because having to follow SmackDown, the crowd is dead. So the show just has no passion and no energy. And that really takes a lot away from the show. So that's something I wish WWE would remedy. I think 205 Live would be a much better show if the crowd was much better. And, you know, because they're doing a decent job of building characters. They're doing a decent job of building stories and making the matches mean a little bit more than normal. But it's harder to get into it if, like, the crowd is clearly, like, worn out and tired. But Drew Gulak earned the Cruiserweight Championship title shot on this week's show. So I think he was the right choice to win, given that he's like the biggest heel right now. Tape 205 Live before SmackDown. I agree. Yes, absolutely. Ciampa versus Alistair. I'm going to get into that in a minute. So 205 Live, not my cup of tea this week. NXT this week was great, mainly because of the title match between Ciampa and Aleister Black, featuring the title change with Ciampa winning the title. The best heel in wrestling wins the title. And now I'm really interested. God, what's the TakeOver main event going to be? Is it going to be a three-way with Gargano and Black? Is it going to be Ciampa versus Gargano 3 with the title on the line? I don't. Yeah, 205 Live needs to be in the NXT arena. That would help. I think that might help, but I think that would just make the Cruiserweight division part of NXT and rather than the main roster. Although, can it count as part of the main roster at this point if it's never featured on Raw or SmackDown? But Ciampa versus Alistair was 8 stars according to Ciampa. That's hilarious. But yeah, I thought this week's NXT was great, largely because of the title match. Unfortunately, I had the title change spoiled for me before I watched it, and that was a shame because like the news headline was everywhere, and it was basically unavoidable. But the match was still fantastic, and I love seeing Ciampa win the belt. It's like, oh yeah, the top heel is the champion. That's what I like. So really enjoyed NXT this week, and it was cool to see Ciampa win the belt. This week's Ring of Honor, the one I watched, also featured a huge title match, a 4-way for the ROH title. This was taped right after Best in the World, the show that I attended last month, but I just saw it this week. So it was Dalton Castle defending the the Ring of Honor World title against Jay Lethal, Matt Taven, and Cody. Excellent 4-way, really, really good 4-way. Lot of action, a lot of drama. All 4 guys look great in there. Taven is getting better and better and is becoming like kind of a breakout star now. And you've got Lethal, who's always great. You got Cody, who's always great. You got Dalton, who was working injured, so he was kind of restricted a little bit. But he did the best he could to hang in with those guys. And he put over Lethal. Lethal is now the Ring of Honor World Champion. Yes, that double Lethal injection spot was insane. That looked really good. But yeah, that was really strong episode of ROH this week with a strong title match and a big title change. So Dalton's reign has come to an end, and now we've got Jay Lethal back as the Ring of Honor World Champion. So excellent match on Ring of Honor this week, and I enjoyed watching it. And what else did I watch? Impact Wrestling, their first show after Slammiversary. I want a group photo with Cody, Brandy, and Bernard. I kind of want that too, to be perfectly honest. And I'd be most excited about meeting Bernard. Is that weird? Is that at all weird? But anyway, this week's episode of Impact Wrestling was their first show following Slammiversary, that excellent pay-per-view they put on last Sunday. And I thought this week's show was solid. Basically, it was just a bunch of solid matches to build towards bigger things down the road. Nothing truly huge happened, but we did get, like I said, we did get some pretty solid matches. Like, the main event was a rematch for the X Division title, Brian Cage defeating Matt Sydal. And it looks like Johnny Mundo is going to be moving more and more up the rankings for the Impact World Championship. Scarlett Bordeaux, yeah, she is Roll Tide. Yeah, she is. That was, yeah, I sees what I like, and I likes what I sees there. She is definitely Roll Tide. Made her debut this week. Her on-screen debut. She hasn't debuted in the ring yet, but I'm trying to think of what else happened. One thing, and I know I've talked about this in the past, one thing I wish Impact would stop doing is showing old matches. They showed an old Machine Guns versus Young Bucks match from like 2011, I think, or it would have even been before that, like 2010 maybe. And I was like, they showed the match in its entirety, and to me, that just like halts the momentum of the show, and I really wish they'd stop showing those old matches. There's a way to do that. Just show like a 30-second clip to sell the app. You don't have to show a full match, but it's clearly them covering up for the fact that they didn't film that much. So have you watched any of Shark Week? No, I haven't. Not this year. I haven't watched any of it. Hashtag padding. Yeah, there's a lot of padding going on there, but I still enjoyed the show. It was solid. Austin Aries continues to be a dick. Eddie Edwards making his intentions clear to go for the Impact World title. So there's some good stuff going, and I'm going to be really intrigued in seeing what Impact delivers heading into Bound for Glory, because Slammiversary, they got on kind of a hot streak and delivered a strong pay-per-view, so hopefully they're able to continue that heading into Bound for Glory, but we've got a few months to go before that happens. So overall, enjoyed Impact. Not the most dynamic or stunning show, but it was overall solid. And then we had Lucha Underground, which I actually didn't get to watch until last night. Very good show this week. I really like the squash matches for Jake Strong and Matanza. The Matanza-Vinny Massaro match was hilarious and a great comedy match. I thought Vinny Massaro was really funny. And the pizza guy took a bump too, which was great. And I thought Jake Strong, who's Jack Swagger, for those of you who don't know, I think he's doing really well in Lucha Underground. He's gotten over pretty huge. And I think part of the reason is Lucha Underground is a setting where he's allowed to use his size to his advantage, so he looks like a fucking monster. And I think that's made him a lot more dangerous and a lot more cool. And he hasn't gotten on the mic yet, which also helps because, Jack Swagger with his lisp, not the most interesting talker in the world. So probably best to just not have him talk. So I enjoyed both of those matches. And then we got the Gift of the Gods Championship, which in years past it had always just been, we have 7 qualifying matches. Wait, I'm sorry. Someone sucking in WWE and doing well outside WWE. What a shot. Well, yeah. I mean, back in the day, and I'm going to talk about that when I talk about ZEUS, but back in the day, they used to be really good at hiding people's weaknesses, and now everybody's weaknesses are just front and center. I don't know why they do that, but hey, whatever. But anyway, normally in years past with the Gift of the Gods title, we would have 7 qualifying matches, and then they would just do a 7-way match, and the winner would get the Gift of the Gods title. This year, they kind of switched it up a bit, but it was like, okay, we have the 7 qualifying matches. Then last week, they had a battle royal with the winner of the battle royal getting to determine which one of the 7 gets eliminated. So we had Mil Muertes eliminated last week. And then here, instead of doing a 6-way, they did a trios match, and the winning team would face each other in a triple threat main event, and the winner would become the Gift of the Gods champion. I'm like, wow, that was like a nice little mini tournament there. I kind of enjoyed that. And it was a really interesting setup and very exciting. I thought the trios match came off very well. Mac, Son of Havoc, and Evilise made for a nice babyface team because they're just so over with the crowd. And it was cool to see Mil Muertes go out there and get his revenge on the Mac. It got me excited for a Muertes-Mac match down the road. So that was cool. And then the finals, you had Desmond X, who was Desmond Xavier in Impact. He's come on really strong in the last 2 weeks, and he looked amazing in this match. And then he was going up against El Dragon Azteca Jr. and King Cuerno, and I thought these 3 had a really good match together. So this whole Gift of the Gods thing that they did was a nice theme for the show, and I thought was really well done. All faces are booked the same, and most heels are booked the same. That's the problem. Yeah, that is part of the lack of a face-heel spectrum. Yeah, that's they don't know how to book their heels. They don't know how to book their faces. I mean, most of the time, how many heels on Raw or SmackDown are actually despicable and do horrible things? How many are there? There aren't many. And to me, heat drives wrestling stories. And if you can't get heat, then your stories aren't interesting. And a lot of the times, the heels just look pathetic. They almost look like like the victims half the time because they get humiliated so frequently. Like Kevin Owens gets humiliated by Braun Strowman for weeks. Braun Strowman chokeslams him off a cage and he goes through a table. And it's like, where is Kevin's heat coming from? I'm not sensing any reason to really hate the guy. Yeah, it's crazy. And now let's rewind back to that WrestleMania where he was feuding with Chris Jericho and they did the Festival of Friendship. I walked away from that segment. Oh, fuck that guy. You know, it's you got to let your heels be heels. But anyway, I really enjoyed the Gift of the Gods stuff. I thought it was very well done. El Dragon Azteca Jr. won. Feels like they're setting him up to be the successor to Prince Puma, which I guess I'm okay with. But yeah, I thought all the Gift of the Gods stuff was great this week. And overall, a great episode of Lucha Underground. A lot of great shows this week. And by the way, when I do my top 10 matches for the month of July, it's going to be a very hard list to do. I should note right now, I'm up to 19 matches on my proto list. my pre-list that I'm going to whittle down to 10. And I haven't even started watching the G1 Climax yet. So that should tell you how many good matches I had to pick from this month. Yeah, well, the fans are going to choose who they want, and then you book accordingly. That's kind of how you kind of like have an ear for how the fans are reacting, and then you just kind of book the shows and the stories accordingly based on that. All righty, so that covers all the shows I watched this week. Who wants to watch some Clash of Champions? Number 20. Okay, if you're following along on the WWE Network, I'll give you a minute to catch up. All right, Clash of the Champions 20. World Heavyweight Champion Ron Simmons against Cactus Jack. Ricky Steamboat versus Steve Austin for the TV title. That's our description. So that's 2 killer matches right there. We also have the main event. Main event of the show. It's a Survivor Series match, a 4-on-4 elimination. Big Van Vader, Jake the Snake Roberts. Who's the other ones? God, I blank. Rick Rude and the Super Invader, who's Hercules Hernandez in a mask. And they will be taking on the babyface team of the Steiner brothers, Sting, and Nikita Koloff. So it's kind of funny. It's like, yeah, on the heel side, we got Big Van Vader, Jake Roberts, Rick Rude, and the Super Invader. Then on the babyface side, it's like, we got Sting, we got the Steiner brothers, and we got Nikita Koloff. Not that I don't dislike Nikita Koloff or Hercules. I actually kind of like both guys. Yes, Jake Roberts was briefly in WCW. This is right after he left the WWE in '92. And they were building towards his match with Sting at Halloween Havoc, which that was one of the spin the wheel, make the deal matches. And they picked the coal miner's glove match. It was like, wow, they picked the most boring match on the wheel. Okay. It's a bold strategy cut. Let's see how it works out for him. But it's, I think this is going to be a fun show to watch. So, if you're ready to go, so am I. We will get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, SummerSlam, guys, August 19th. I'm going to watch that. SummerSlam. SummerSlam.
This man is 7 feet 4 inches.
Oh, there's Andre.
154 pounds. Andre the Giant, Andre welcome.
What's a coal miner's glove match? It's a coal miner's glove is like this really heavy like metal glove, and they put it on a pole, and the object is like a pole match basically, with the coal miner's glove being the weapon. WCW scrapbook. Bill Watts, Georgia Championship. Dusty! Gordon Solie, World Championship Wrestling. Are they going to show Black Saturday? They going to show any of that? Wow, look at the hair on Ric Flair in that one. Did you mark out when Samoa Joe used Godzilla's Ocean Rise song in his theme music? I recognize that. I wouldn't say I marked out, but I'm like, oh, I know where that comes from. I know what he's doing. I see what Joe's doing.
World Championship Wrestling and Clash of the Champions is on the air. Hi, everybody. I'm Tony Schiavone along with Missy Hyatt. We are coming to you from Center Stage.
20th anniversary of professional wrestling on TBS.
This has been the home of WCW Saturday night.
Hi, Missy.
And of course, we are celebrating 20 years of World Championship Wrestling.
Jets and Giants are trending on Twitter. What'd they do?
You know, limousines have been coming all day, and
There's Gordon.
The standard Gordon Solie, along with the 8th wonder of the world.
There's Andre.
Gordon, I know this means
Oh, God, Andre.
It does indeed. It's a very exciting.
Yeah, he's on the crutches.
opportunity to enjoy a bit of nostalgia, a chance for some of our younger fans to see some of the older great stars of professional wrestling, and the Space Odyssey continues as we go into the future.
And Andre, it's great to have you with us.
Thank you, and I'm very happy to be back here to see all my TBS, all wrestling stars.
Okay, Andre the Giant and Gordon Solie with us.
Our world champion,
World champion Ron Simmons has arrived along with his wife. And
The world champ. Damn.
looking great, the world
Yeah, it's a shame we didn't get Vader in any of the Clash of Champions as champion. Because he won the belt and lost the belt in between the last Clash of Champions we watched. Didn't Andre only have like 4 or 5 months left in his life? Yeah, it wasn't long. He died in January of the next year. So, yeah, he didn't have much longer after this. If both groups were booked well, would you like to see Sanity versus Wyatt's? Yeah, that would have been great. But, you know, they ruined the Wyatts already. Or they ruined the Wyatts, and Sanity sounds like they haven't been booked all that well. Hi, Bill. Hi, Bill Watts.
I'm just excited. Thanks for all the fans. Okay, Bill Watts. Hank Aaron. It's good to have you with us.
Hank Aaron.
Thank you. This is a great night. 20 years. I'm happy to be at the TBS World Championship of Wrestling.
Okay.
How'd you feel if you were out swimming and suddenly heard the Jaws theme? I'd be like, where the hell is the Jaws theme coming from? I wouldn't freak out. I'd just be like, why is someone playing that? He's fat!
We're looking forward to a great evening. Okay, thank you very much. And of course, we are going to be going inside pretty soon and enjoy the wrestling action. Tremendous crowd here tonight. As we said, it started in 1972, 20 years of wrestling. I said Dory Funk Jr. was the world heavyweight champion at that time. A lot of things have changed since then. Oh, we have another limousine which has arrived. This is great. We are having a gala night here. Coming down the limousine now.
Up there are policemen on horses.
Around here. Good to see you, Mr. Barnett. It's a historic night.
Jim Barnett.
Senior consultant, World Championship Wrestling, the executive vice president of World Championship Wrestling, Bob Dew. Mr. Dew, good to have you here. We're looking for
Bob Dew.
20 great years. 20 great years. And
Bruno.
Martino is here with us. And Bruno, it's great to have you in Atlanta with us.
God, all the stars are out today.
To be here for the 20th anniversary of wrestling in TBS, and I'll tell you something else. What makes me extremely proud to be back in an organization that has.
Do you think Rich Swann will come back to WWE NXT? Not anytime soon.
Fan, sir. I'm a fan. Thank you.
Okay. Bruno San Martino.
Oh, Missy looks smitten with Bruno.
Harley Davidson. I wonder
She looks like, oh, there's the Stinger on a motorcycle because Sting's awesome. God, he's got like a James Dean look to him right now.
Man, this is what it's all about. It's unbelievable. You said it. The Clash of Champions is what it's all about. Just like.
Woo! Yeah, she wants to ride with Sting. Wonder what she means there.
With the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and a very special message from the Atlanta City Council. Thanks, Tony, and I'm happy and excited to be
That's Teddy Long.
anniversary of professional wrestling right here on TBS. And standing next to me is.
How do you feel about people defending WWE's horrible skits with it's PG? Well, first of all, they were doing horrible skits before they went PG, so it's nothing new. Them being PG has nothing to do with them doing horrible skits. But
I'm delighted to present this proclamation to you, which proclaims today, September 2nd, 1992, as World Championship Wrestling Day in the city of Atlanta.
oh, there you go. World Championship Wrestling Day in Atlanta. That's nice. But anyway, I mean, a lot of the creative woes in the WWE have been going on for a long time. It's not necessarily just because they went PG. And PG is also not an excuse for shitty writing. WCW, when it was at its peak, was PG, and the shows were great. There's the neck and dream, Dusty Rhodes, getting funky like a monkey in public, if you will. Oh my God, he actually said it. Good morning, Pelter. Welcome to the stream.
And what we're going to do right now, we're going to go live back to the arena to Jim Ross and Jesse the Body Ventura.
Jim Ross and Jesse Ventura.
Thank you very much, Teddy Long, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, live here.
Why is the WCW Saturday Night sign up? I mean, I give them credit. The logo's not crooked.
You're in war. Now as a sophomore in college.
That's right, 1972, Jim. I was back serving in the United States Navy, and it's hard to believe that 20 years have gone by.
Fans, we have 3 championship matches signed, but one of those matches, the light heavyweight championship.
How would you have felt if Sting retired from wrestling after WCW died? I would have been sad, but at the same time, I would have been like, oh, thank God WWE didn't get to fuck him over. And then WrestleMania 33 was it 33? where they did, no, that was 31. No, 31 was the Sting match, which depressed me.
That's right, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat has come close.
They did this clash at Center Stage, the home of Saturday Night at the time. Yeah, I get that. It's just weird that, wow, the WCW Saturday Night logo is just right there. But the logo's not crooked, so I won't complain.
Also, if you'd like to call the hotline, we'd like to have your opinion, your vote, if you will, on rescinding the off-the-top rope rule. That vote will be in effect.
The vote to rescind the off-the-top rope rule. Yeah, let's please, for the love of God, can we get rid of that rule? Because that's a stupid rule. We are starting things off with a hot match. Ricky Steamboat versus Steve Austin. These two had some amazing matches together. Probably their highest profile one was Bash of the Beach 94, which is famous for having the first pay-per-view Hogan versus Flair match. But Steamboat and Austin faced each other on that pay-per-view, and that might be their highest profile match, but they had some great matches with each other. What did you think of the Mania 16 Hardcore Battle Royal and its finish? I thought the match was a clusterfuck, and I didn't enjoy it. Speaking of Sting at 31, people forget that Sting chose to lose the match because he felt it was his last match. Is that true? I hadn't heard that. If that's the case, I'd rather he put over, like, I'd rather he'd done the match with Seth then. Like, put over someone that could have used it, you know? There's Steve. The TV belt looks nice. I like the look of the TV belt.
And ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please stand for the singing of the national anthem.
Wait.
11-year-old Megan Sheehan from Tulsa, Oklahoma, who will be accompanied by the man who says he's the prettiest wrestler in WCW, Johnny B. Bad.
So we're doing the national anthem. Did we forget to do the national anthem first? Johnny B. Bad with a little kid, like, singing the national anthem. Okay, sure. Also, rumbling of Rock wrestling at Mania 35. Why is everyone saying he should wrestle Triple H? I have no idea. Like, that's one of those things, like, guys, you have the WWE Network. I can literally watch like a dozen of their matches. I don't need another one.
Let's go back up to the ring.
Shouldn't we have done this before the wrestlers' entrances?
Can you see by the dawn's early
They just forgot, like at Mania 29. Yeah, they forgot. I mean, she's better than Rockin' Robin at WrestleMania 5. I'll give her that. No knock on Rockin' Robin. She was just put in a bad spot. Or before they went on the air. Yeah, also, they could have done it before they went on the air. God, people are wearing tuxes and everything. This is treated like a big deal. Did Dusty book TNA badly on purpose? You know, I don't want to say yes, but when you look at what he was booking in TNA and then you look at how he was booking in NXT, and it's like, Dusty, I can't help but feel like you were trying to sabotage them. You know, it's because it's like, if I told you that the guy who was booking in the first half of 2005 is the same guy that was booking NXT during its, like, major establishment period, you'd been like, there's no way it's the same guy. It's like, yeah, well, same guy. Yay.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
She did pretty well.
Special stipulations for this World Television Championship contest. First, there will be no disqualifications allowed. And secondly, manager Paul E. Dangerously will be suspended in the tiny steel cage. He will be suspended over the ring area.
Oh, dear.
And the officials are here.
Paulie Perot, 92. Yeah, there's a hell of a presidential ticket for you. Paul Heyman and Ross Perot.
I mean that a man of dangerously the position this guy holds as head of the Dangerous Alliance, and
he's trying to run.
Physically into a cage.
Nope. The Dangerous Alliance was a great stable. They kind of got WCW on track in 92 because, again, build up heels, give them heat, storylines get better. Just saying. By the way, welcome to the stream, Lou the Giant Cookie.
Definitely going to see who the better man is. As I've said, Steamboat has come close, but you can see the Dragon still with the ribs taped up. Obviously not fully recovered from the devastation he took in the tag team tournament a while back. So if Stunning Steve is worth his salt,
Heyman Perot would win in today's politics, probably. Oh. I mean, when you look at what the Republicans and the Democrats offer these days, it's like, shit. This is what we got? Can I vote none of the above? Can we put none of the above on the ballot, please? Hip toss by Steamboat. Headlock takedown by Steamboat. It's kind of sad that they had to make this match no DQs just so Ricky Steamboat could jump off the top rope. It's the dumbest. It's like, Bill Watts, the fuck were you thinking?
We'd like to have your vote on the off-the-top rope rule. What do you think about it? You can vote right
we hate it, JR. We hate the off-the-top rope rule.
Tabulations before we go off the air.
I'm going to put you on the spot right now, Jim Ross. How did you vote? Or haven't you?
I voted to rescind it. I'm a registered voter, and I voted to rescind it.
To bring it back, in other words. You voted to bring off the top rope back.
Yes, I did. He misses the big right hand. Great quickness by Steamboat.
Oh!
Steamboat flips over. Side headlock.
Although I never understood why WCW introduced Rick Rude as the Halloween Phantom during this period. One of the weirdest creative choices in wrestling history. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff that goes on. They should have put him in a box. Don't you understand? You put a motherfucker in a box, he comes out of the box, and then he's over. Motherfucker. Goddamn stupid son of a bitch. I'm James E. Cornette, and I hate the way wrestling is now. I just hate it. Motherfucker.
I'll tell you, I know for a fact, the old folks' homes were going wild when they saw Bruno. The healthcare centers, all those places with Bruno's great fans.
He is a legend, I can say that. Without hesitation.
Would you hate Cena Triple H at 22 as much if it was a non-title semi-main event? No, I wouldn't hate it as much. Part of the fact that I hated it is the fact that it's like, this is your main event, really? It's better when you do the high-pitched, corny voice. I don't like doing the high-pitched, corny voice because that's Bruce Pritchard's. I feel like I'm ripping him off. Says the guy who wrestled the Ninja Turtle in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Yeah, right? Don't you understand? The kids like the Ninja Turtles, man. It's a marketing ploy. Got to give the kids what they want. They want Ninja Turtles. Steamboat controlling this match. I would hate to be in one of those shark cages that they suspend above the ring because I'd just be like, if something goes wrong, you're fucked. If Cena Triple H was the semi-main, what would you have put in the main event spot? I would have had Edge as the champion, and I would have had him face. Personally, I would have saved the build-up. I would have built up Matt Hardy versus Edge to that point. Give it like the year-long build-up and built it up to that point. And if not that, then do Edge versus Rob Van Dam or something. My point is, Edge should have been in the main event at WrestleMania that year.
And the Dragon, you can see him yelling and taunting Paulie dangerously. Kind of a cheap shot on Paulie, considering he's suspended.
Steamboat was the perfect face. One of those rare guys who really understood how to play the hero and get the fans behind him. Sting was the same way. I agree. Sting and Steamboat are like two of the best baby faces in the history of wrestling. Oh, Steve Austin. Hair pull. What went wrong? Main event of WrestleMania 22. My patience was sorely tested. That's what went wrong. It started with the entrances and didn't get any better.
Good counter move. Listen to this fast pace. Up on that second turnbuckle. Austin out.
It's kind of like, again, it's kind of sad that they had to make this no DQ. What the hell? I've never seen that before.
The corner and Steamboat.
He just launched Steamboat overhead off the top rope.
And he's clutching the ribs, Ross.
But he's selling the rib injury.
Jammed the ribs when he hit the canvas right there.
Steamboat in a real physical disadvantage. Here at the Clash of the Champions, live on TDS. And Austin pulls away that protective wrap.
You know, Steve,
If you watch Table for Three with Steamboat, Patterson, and Hillbilly Jim, Steamboat tells a story about how he wanted to turn heel.
he can't blame dangerous.
Yeah, he's the problem. Ricky is literally the only one that wanted it.
Times in his career, quite frankly, as Austin scoops him up. And there's a perfectly executed backbreaker.
How would people react to Goody Two Shoes Steamboat? You know,
Right into the injured ribs on the Dragon Steamboat, you can see.
I think Steamboat, see, part of the thing that people like about baby faces today, and this is part of the smart markness kind of infecting the business, as long as you're a good worker, they'll kind of like you. And if they think you're a good worker, and if you don't think Ricky Steamboat's a good worker, there's something wrong with you. So
Austin tried to hold him down. But
he would get over as a face by virtue of just being a really good worker.
will not stay down. He's been coming in on top.
Come on, Steamboat.
With the right hands, with the chops. Stunning Steve needs to cut him off. He needs to go back to the ribs right here. We all know that. Oh, that could be a tough move. Look at
Oh, couldn't slam him.
He can't do anything. He cannot pick Stunning Steve up.
Austin with that.
I think fans can still react to clean cut. Good guys, Sami Zayn in NXT was probably one of the best I've seen in the modern era. Yeah, remember when Sami Zayn was one of the best baby faces in wrestling and then they ruined him?
And will this put the pain on the Dragon?
Yeah, remember when Bayley was one of the best baby faces in wrestling and then they ruined her?
He can throw some punches. Use the knuckles into those ribs on Steamboat. Maybe get a submission.
Nice abdominal stretch there by Steve.
There.
And he's like jamming his elbow into the ribs too. Yeah.
Austin really working over those injured ribs.
Hey, nobody said this sport was easy, and the Dragon's finding out right now. Many, many times, wrestlers are forced into positions where they have to wrestle injured. Many of them wrestle every day injured.
Austin trying to go back.
Oh, hip toss by Steamboat.
Counter with a hip toss by
Nice way to get out of that.
Irish whip coming right at you this time.
There you go. Oh, look at that bump that Austin took.
Steamboat took advantage of that. Still next to Austin, a man that many consider the greatest television champion ever in WCW. Is in a fight for his championship live here. Irish whip, though, it's reversed this time. But Steamboat puts on
There you go, Steamboat. Crossbow. Oh, no. Steamboat kicked out.
I thought he had it there. He got a near fall.
It was a great reversal.
Oh, nice.
For the drop kick. Steamboat blocked it. He's trying to
Slingshot.
Whoa.
Oh.
Into the buckle. Face first.
1, 2. No.
Austin able to take out at 2.5. The champion. Being sternly taken.
As soon as Bayley came to the main roster, they turned her into a female Eugene, and it was really weird. Yeah. Oh, foot of the ropes. Austin trying to cheat. How would you react if Jericho showed up on Raw with the IWGP IC title belt? I'd lose my mind, but then I'd be upset. It's like, oh, poor New Japan. They lost one of their belts.
Can he get it? He got him up.
But I don't, Jericho wouldn't do that. Tombstone. Tombstone on Austin. Move that would haunt him later in his career. Austin counters. No. There you go. Steamboat hits a tombstone. Oh, 1, 2. So you got to cross the arms over his chest. That's how you pin out of a tombstone.
I'm amazed that Steamboat had
Oh!
just to get Austin up on that one.
1, 2. Austin holding the tights.
Just barely able to kick out at 2. Austin now seems to be building some momentum here in this championship event. Hard right hand to the ribs. Austin has Steamboat up. Front face off, gonna try to superplex him off that turnbuckle.
Oh, blocks the superplex. Come on, Ricky.
He's trying to set him up from the second rope. Of course, top rope is not legal.
Oh.
And he walked, or should I say jumped, right into a right hand by Stunning Steve.
Oh, inside cradle. No. Dude.
And that's it this time. Oh, what a matchup. To kick off the Clash of the Champions.
Good match going here.
In September the
Come on, Steamboat. Oh, nice shoulder tackle by Steamboat. 1, 2, no.
It was so close.
What would you say are the best movies to come out in the past 10 years? I really like the Planet of the Apes movies. I really like Moneyball was a huge favorite of mine. The recent Godzilla movies have made me happy. You know, not the animated ones, but oh, big elbow. But there was another one I was just thinking of. Some of the Marvel movies have been really good. We've gotten a lot of great horror movies in the last few years. It's nice to see like good horror making a comeback. Steamboat crawled underneath the ring. He's gonna get him off the top. Crossbody. 1, 2, 3. New television champion, bitch. There you go.
Look at the Dragon countering right there. Stunning Steve trying to suplex over the top. The Dragon blocks him. Drives Steve Austin.
Hey, James Jackson, hello. I have a nice DVD collection in the back. Yeah, I've got like, I've got quite a few DVDs. Some Blu-rays in there too, you know. The shark cage did its job, right? Right? Well, RoboCop wasn't around to break him out. Oh, more of the WCW scrapbook. Mr. Wrestling 2.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to TBS. Here at the Clash of the Champions, Jim Ross and Jesse the Body Ventura back with you. You know, fans, over the last 20 years, so many great tag teams have competed here on TBS, and we're about to show you a quick look at just some of the teams that competed right here on the Superstation.
Well, I've always had a great feeling for tag team wrestling, Jim Ross. You know, I was a member of the infamous East-West Connection, myself and the late, great Adrian Adonis. So I know tag team wrestling. I know what it takes, and it's tremendous.
You know what's funny? Jesse talks about how great that tag team was. He's literally the only person I've ever heard talk about him and Adonis as a team. As like this great tag team. I've never heard anyone else talk about them. Oh, it's funny. Nobody ever talks about Jesse being a great worker. The Assassins versus Dusty Rhodes and Ole Anderson. Jeez, what year was this? Steel cage, too.
Where were you at this point, sir?
I was waiting for my spot, and here it comes. You look, you watch. You watch. I had to be a little careful because I didn't want everybody else jumping me.
What does it say on your shirt? Oh, it doesn't say anything. It's just the Cobra logo from G.I. Joe. You mentioned Giant Monsters All Out Attack should have been a top 5 Godzilla movie. What changes would you have made to make it a top 5 Godzilla movie? I think it needed a little bit more refining, like a little bit from a special effects standpoint. The constant use of CGI was a little annoying to me. And I think maybe if they'd given the production like a little bit more time, they could have refined it a little bit. I also think that there's the first Briscoe brothers, Jack and Jerry. But story-wise, I also felt like the ending kind of left me going, huh? Because how the hell did General Tachibana survive that whole thing? Like, if you think about it, and go back and watch the movie, like, how the fuck did he survive not dying? He got swallowed by Godzilla while in a submarine, and he blew up Godzilla from the inside. He blew a hole in Godzilla's chest from the inside. and Godzilla tried to use his atomic breath, and it came out through the hole in the chest. And I'm sitting there thinking, how did he not get just eradicated inside of Godzilla while all that was going on? So that was a problem I had. And also, the original idea for the movie was to do Varan, Anguirus, and Baragon, and they were forced to make a change to Mothra and King Ghidorah because they have greater marquee value. The Road Warriors, God, they look young here. They're not even wearing face paint. But yeah, just if I would have preferred it if it was Varan and Anguirus, because having King Ghidorah as one of the good monsters felt a little weird. In addition to, it's like, they keep bringing back Mothra and King Ghidorah. I would have rather had like the rarities like Anguirus and Varan. But yeah, a couple of little things they could have done to make that movie better that would have elevated its standing among the rest of the series. Would you say the first Jurassic Park is the best movie to both use practical and CGI effects? It's up there. I would put Terminator 2 up there as well. Like, Terminator 2 still looks amazing to me.
Certainly brings back a lot of great memories here on TBS, and later in the program, we'll be seeing a look at some of the great single wrestlers, Jess.
Who's Varan and Baragon? Baragon is the floppy-eared horn dinosaur thing that's in GMK. He's the red monster that Godzilla fights first in that movie. And he first appeared in Frankenstein versus Baragon back in the 60s, and he also had a very brief cameo in Destroy All Monsters. Halloween Havoc? Is that what this is? Yeah, this is when they were like trying to make their pay-per-views like mini movies. Yeah.
Find out at WCW Halloween Havoc 92. Something October 25th.
Yeah. Honestly, this was like the least cheesy out of all of them. The White Castle of Fear might have been. No, Back to the Beach, that one was pretty amazing. With like Vader and Sid trying to blow up a beach. Anyway, to finish answering your question, Varan is a monster that got his own film in the 50s. And he's kind of like this dinosaur that looks like a flying squirrel, in that he has these skin flaps under his arm and he can fly through the air. And he also had a super, super brief cameo in Destroy All Monsters, has never appeared other than that. So it would have been cool to see him again. Another early stream. Yeah, this was the only time I could do it. Welcome aboard, FT Legend. If you were put in charge of a Jurassic Park sequel using only the original movie as canon, how'd you go about it? I wouldn't make a sequel, to be perfectly honest. Like, I would have just left Jurassic Park alone.
What you have here is a compilation of the best 3 tag teams that ruled.
Though not a mini movie, Lost in Cleveland was the worst of them all. Was that Cactus Jack getting amnesia? That's one of those like funny things I look back on. It's like, hey, remember when they did that? Capetta. You said his name wrong. Did you do that on purpose?
Tag team action, set for one fall. Introducing first in the ring, accompanied by Larry the Cruncher Zbyszko. First from Seattle, Washington, weighing 251 pounds. Greg.
There's Greg.
Valentine.
Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Tag team partner from Tampa, Florida, 239 pounds. Dirty Dick Slater.
And Dick Slater with Larry Z in their corner. So bad they retconned the whole thing and played it up as mind games. Arn Anderson and Beautiful Bobby. With Michael Hayes in their corner.
35 pounds. Beautiful Bobby.
What's your favorite movie trailer? I like a lot of the Exorcist's early trailers from back in the 70s because they don't show anything and they look terrifying. Look at Arn. Arn and Greg Valentine. That's a good mix. Oh. Double team. Heels are double teaming. Would you hate the what chance if people only did it for Austin? No, that's the thing. If they had kept it to just Steve Austin, I would have been okay with it, but they just infected the show with it. It's like, guys, stop it. It's like Ty Dillinger and the 10 thing. It's fine when you do it for Ty, but when you do it for everybody else, it gets annoying. You got to know when to, like, contain yourself and compose yourself. Fucking animals.
I'll tell you, I don't envy the referee, and if you can make a case for having 2 referees, this might be the bout that it would work the best in.
Premier fans, we want your vote on the off-the-top rope rule. Would you like it rescinded or not? It's on the wrestling hotline, and we'll tabulate your votes before we go off the air.
I would love to see what the vote is on that. Like, rescind the top rope rule. I bet it's like 80-some%.
Expand hotline coverage until late tonight. As Slater hammers away at beautiful Bobby.
That's supposedly why Ty hasn't been on TV much at all. Vince hates the 10 chance, and I guess Ty got 2 over. I mean, it's not his fault. It's just the fans are stupid. Being a 90s kid, I never knew or saw Bobby Heenan through the magic of YouTube. Holy shit, I finally see why people say he's the best manager of all time. He's hilarious. Bobby Heenan was a work of art. That dude was amazing. Ty was only going to go so far on the roster. Sure, but, you know, he could have been a solid hand. And now it's like, oh, this thing got over. Let's kill it. I'm annoyed by this thing. Let's kill it. And granted, I agree. It is annoying, but...
You just saw Dick Slater trying to put his feet up on the ropes. You've seen beautiful Bobby and I.
Because where the 10 chant really fucks me up is when the referee counts to 10 for a count out, and the crowd just goes 10, 10, 10. I'm like, guys, I'm losing the count. You're fucking up the match here.
I'll tell you something. Hey, may be talking about wrestling, Gordy and Williams, but they've got the Steiners to contend with. There's no doubt about that. The Steiners will have something to say about who the #1 contenders play. World Tag Team titles would be.
I'll tell you, as far as I'm concerned, it's a 4-team race because you can't disqualify Valentine and Slater.
That's exactly right.
You got 4 teams, including the champions, Williams and Gordy. You got a 4-team race for the World Tag Team titles here in World Championship Wrestling.
Slater with a headbutt. Staggers Arn Anderson. Slater makes the exchange with Greg the Hammer Valentine. Valentine's father, the legendary Johnny Valentine. I'm sure watching on in Dallas, Texas.
What's your favorite Heenan joke? Oh my God.
In the very near future. Front face lock by the Hammer. The
There's so many. I'm trying to like. Probably. I know at WrestleMania 80 he had the Indiana's favorite Bobby line. That one really got me. That's a personal favorite of mine. Also on that same show during the Piper Brett match, he was just on fire that entire match. And at one point when Piper was going to use the ring bell, he's like, use it, waffle him with it. You know the old saying, what the hell, use the bell. And he was just always saying really funny shit like that. Do you think any current female wrestlers could have worked in an ECW women's division? I don't know if today's women would have had the personality for ECW. You kind of have to be a little rougher around the edges. I think Bayley would have been eaten alive in an ECW locker room.
Center stage in Atlanta, Georgia.
And now it's Arn Anderson caught in the wrong corner as Dirty Dick Slater comes down on the apron, hooks him, and lets the Hammer Valentine do some damage with those big silver forearms of his.
Both these veteran teams are tagging in and out. Very, very. And that is the mark, as we have said many times, of a great tag team. Make the exchange, keep your opponent off balance. As Slater brings Arn Anderson out, and then crack his leg right across the apron of the ring.
Oh, Arn's in trouble. Jeez. Big shot by Bobby. Ruby Wright and Paige, I think, could have worked in. Yeah, they would have fit.
I'll tell you, beautiful Bobby did some damage both outside the ring and inside the ring. Outside on Dick Slater, inside on the Hammer Valentine.
Spine Buster! It's a Pier 6 brawl. A referee trying to prevent the double team. Oh! Zbyszko with the cast. Greg is down. 1, 2, 3. Anderson and Greg win, or Anderson and Eaton win it. That was an okay match. I like seeing Arn Anderson and Greg Valentine mix it up. That was nice. What about the Jameson He's Alive? Oh God, yeah. Okay. If you're looking for like a classic Bobby Heenan moment, look on YouTube for the Primetime Wrestling bit where he gives an update on Jameson. It is fucking hilarious. Actually, let me see if I can find it because it's golden. Or scrapbook. Oh, there's James. There's Jimmy.
So you remember that rock and roll. We're gonna take our belts back.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to TBS. We're live here at Center Stage on West Peachtree in Atlanta. And I'm standing by a man that is genuinely a legend in the sport. A man that
Here we go.
11 main events
I found it.
in Madison Square Garden.
All right, I'm going to post it in the chat.
187 sellouts.
This is one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen in wrestling.
Well, Jim, I gotta tell you, first of all, I'm really
Oh, there's Bruno.
As far as that first match with Steamboat and Austin, that was absolutely sensational. Great to see Steamboat win the title. And I'm really anxious to see the match between Ron Simmons and Cactus Jack, the championship match.
Bruno, I know that you watch a great deal of wrestling. What do you think of the product now here in WCW?
Well, I'll tell you, I am so thrilled. That's why I'm so thrilled to be here because, again,
I'm happy to be away from Vince.
Kind of wrestling was in my time, and now it's here. And thank God for the WCW because I'll tell you what I've been experiencing the past 10 years with that other league.
Oh, shit!
Great to see professional wrestling.
Damn!
I know
He
you're
just put WWE in their place. That other league that I was the major champion for.
I was at one of the Halloween Havocs a couple years ago, and it was very exciting. And I want to tell all the fans, Philadelphia, trying to get come because you're in for a treat because you will see.
In Back to the Future, how come Marty's adult parents didn't recognize that Marty looked exactly like Calvin Klein? I don't know. I'm willing to let that slide because I don't have the best memory. I don't know if I would have noticed something like that either. I'm happy to be here at a place I've never been before, Bruno. My dad said he liked Greg Valentine back in the day. I was always kind of a Greg Mark, too. I always liked his style. There's Bob Armstrong. God, he's got hair.
Well, thank you so much, Bob Armstrong. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, a man that has become a legend in his own time. And I got to say myself, what an honor it is for me to be standing out here talking to this man, the legendary Thunderbolt Patterson. Thank you very much.
Thunderbolt Patterson. I've never seen any of his matches, but I've heard the name a lot. Oh, there's Andre.
I'd like to give a little honor to God to be here tonight, to see what has come down. WCW have done something that it makes my bones just quiver.
Yeah.
Because it's something that has been a long time coming.
Testify.
And I'm so glad that I'm living and was invited to this occasion.
Well, thank you so much. There you heard the comments from Thunderbolt Patterson. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier this week, we had the opportunity to go via satellite to talk to Mr. Wrestling number 2. Now,
He's alive. He's alive.
I'd like to congratulate Mr. Ted Turner on his 20th anniversary of WCW wrestling. You know, actually, if you want to watch real wrestling, pro wrestling, the best wrestling throughout the country, you got to watch WCW. They do produce the best. You know, it's great to see that wrestling is...
What went right, Bobby Heenan? They gave him a microphone. That's what went right.
Go behind.
They let the man talk.
That you can't beat it. Wish I could be there. You folks in Atlanta, Georgia. God bless you all, each and every one of you.
2. Great to hear from Mr. Wrestling number 2 in retirement in Hawaii. In just a moment, we'll hear some comments made earlier this week by our boss, Ted Turner.
That's right. You know, and I always listen because he's the man that signs my check, Ross.
I listen very closely as well. Let's hear the comments from Ted Turner.
Oh, there's Ted.
Professional wrestling has been one of the longest running programs on TBS. Over the past 20 years.
In 2018, the fans would have turned Bobby Heenan babyface. Yes, if they booked Heenan the way they book heels now, and that they don't let him do anything bad. Like if they let Heenan be a dastardly fuck, and he got his comeuppance, they could probably like the Saturday Night's Main Event that we watched last week when they showed that clip of him sicking the Brooklyn Brawler on the Red Rooster and attacking Gorilla Monsoon. That's a good heat getter. It reminds you, it's like, oh, wait, that guy's an asshole.
Hopefully, after the next commercial break, we will find out what the problem is with the light heavyweight championship here in WCW.
Fans, we'll be back on the Clash of the Champions from Center Stage in Atlanta right after this timeout.
Road Warriors.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Clash of the Champions live here on TBS. As we mentioned at the top of the program, there has been a great deal of controversy in the last 4 or 5 days regarding the light heavyweight championship currently held by Brad Armstrong.
They had a light heavyweight title and made top rope moves illegal.
Cowboy Bill Watts.
Okay, Jim, thank you very much. As all our fans know, and you've been telling us on WCW Saturday night, Brad has suffered an injury. He was in Sapporo, Japan recently, wrestling the Great Muta, injured his knee, and he's been working very hard to try to get into shape to wrestle tonight on Clash of the Champions. But the doctors have said, no, Bill, he cannot wrestle tonight, defend the light heavyweight title against Flying Brian.
That's very true. You know, when you're looking at young athletes, the first thing you look for is a great heart. And Brad Armstrong has it. And this kid was wanting to go so bad on the Clash.
What went wrong? Dusty Rhodes in the NWO. Dumb idea. It was just like, it doesn't fit. Like, you can't take the Southern everyman superstar Dusty Rhodes and then put him in the NWO. It just doesn't fit.
Could end his career forever. So
I dare any wrestling company these days to try making top rope moves illegal. Yeah.
We're stripping him of the title.
I didn't realize Gorilla Monsoon used to be so huge. He looked so skinny in the 90s. Yeah, right? The last time we saw him was WrestleMania 15, and he looked like he was knocking on death's door then. So he looked really frail and really skinny.
Standing by with Jesse the Body Ventura is Brad Armstrong. So let's go back to the arena floor.
Well, Brad, the disappointment is obvious. I wanted to introduce you tonight as the WCW World Light Heavyweight Champion. We've just heard from Cowboy Bill Watts. You no longer hold that title. It's in limbo. It's up in the air. And I know this has got to just rip you apart here on the 20-year anniversary at TBS.
Yes, sir.
How did Monsoon pass away? He was just frail and sick. I don't know what it exactly was, but he was just in poor health.
20 years that we're celebrating this evening. On the other hand, I'm extremely let down because of the severity of my injury that I can't possibly defend my title and be 100%. You know, my dad is here. I feel like I've let my family down. I try really hard to uphold that title belt. I traveled to Japan and I did everything that I could.
Oh, there's Brian.
Well, Brian Pillman has come out, and this is the man you were supposed to wrestle tonight and defend that World Light Heavyweight Championship. Brian, it's got to be disheartening for you. I mean, you trained, you focused. You're the former champ. You had a shot to get it back.
Heart failure, complications, and diabetes. Yep, that sounds about right.
I worked very hard, trained to get this world title shot. And, you know, Jess, the more I think about it, the more I realize what a total disgrace this whole situation is. Tonight, millions of my fans were supposed to witness me regaining the World Light Heavyweight title. Rejoice in my victory, but no!
But no!
Our former world champion hobble out here like some broken down, pathetic piece of garbage and announce to the world, I'm scared, I'm a coward, my knee.
Brian, the man's hurt. The doctor says he can't wrestle.
Is Jesse Ventura siding with the babyface? Moment in history, guys.
Right now, hanging his head in shame.
Right, I'm let down too, brother. I'm let down.
Heel turn.
Nuts in the world, man.
Yep.
I'm let down too. You think if I couldn't go in the ring, I wouldn't go, brother? I'd be right there going with you nose to nose, man. You know what kind of man I am inside. I know what kind of man.
Yeah, Heenan looked bad in the end of his life. Yeah. He looked really bad, but he was still funny though. Like if you watch those clips of him at signings and stuff, I'm like, he was still like making jokes and like funny hand gestures and stuff. It's like that old Bobby, he's still there. Like it's still in there. Still got the ooh!
Whoa. I'll tell you what, we'll be back.
Bitch slap by Flying Brian. Up there's Piper. Yeah, they never filled the vacancy. They just got rid of the belt. Huh.
Quick look at some of the many tag teams that have competed in the past 20 years here on TBS. And now Jesse the Body Ventura, we're going to take a look at some of the great single competitors.
And Jim Ross, this is going to be a who's who of anybody who was ever involved in the world of professional wrestling.
Are you streaming SummerSlam? Probably not.
And so many of them could not make this video feature, but here's a quick look at some of the great stars that have competed right here on TBS since 1972. Let's take a look. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
Stan Hansen. Ooh. Ron Garvin.
I don't know nobody enough.
Tony Atlas. Magnum TA. There we go. What could have been? What could have been? Magnum TA could have been a much larger star, but Buzz Sawyer. Should the Royal Rumble match be for the title? Maybe doing it once in a while would be fine, but generally I kind of like it as the playoffs to build to WrestleMania. That's not Tony Atlas. That's Saba Simba, the great Kabuki.
He is well versed in all forms of the martial arts.
Ted DiBiase. There we go.
There's a lot of people here who intensely dislike this man, Ted DiBiase. DiBiase brings him out.
Cowboy Bill Watts. Chief Wahoo McDaniel.
Another high caused by Wahoo McDaniel. And there again, the psychological...
The Masked Superstar. Bill Eadie. Jimmy Boogie Woogie Valiant. That's an epic beard, dude. That is an epic, epic fucking beard. ZZ Top would be jealous. King Kong Bundy. More intimidating, Masked Kane in 97 or Kane right after he unmasked with the towel over his head? 97 Kane. Although, like, when he first unmasked, they were doing some good stuff there for a few weeks, and then they just kind of dropped it. The spoiler. Styles, Nakamura, Gallows, and Anderson's contracts are coming up soon. The only one I can see possibly leaving is Nakamura. I wouldn't be surprised if he left. Tully Blanchard. The Nature Boy. Woo! What went wrong? Kane unmasks. Yeah. Terra Funk.
talk about a Texas death match.
Tommy Rich.
You put your name on the piece of paper any way you want to do it.
I'm more than happy to oblige, and I just kind of like
Rowdy Roddy Piper.
The cowboy, the dream, the nature boy, the rowdy one, they were all there, Jesse.
They were all there, Jim Ross. What a synopsis we just went through right there. I'll tell you, I got chills up and down my spine looking at that.
Fans, later in the program, we're going to show you an extensive look at Halloween Havoc. But here's another quick glimpse as we go to commercial break.
I like the Hannibal Lecter mask.
Wrestling match with a spin of the wheel reveal. Find out at WCW Halloween Havoc 92. Sunday, October 25th, live on pay-per-view. Call your local cable operator for availability.
Have you heard the rumored main event of Evolution being the MMA Horsewomen's versus WWE Horsewomen? I have not heard that. Which WWE or WCW wrestler are you disappointed that you will not and have not yet seen live? I was always upset that I never got to see Piper in person. That was one I would have liked to have seen. Goldberg is one I never saw in person. It would have been cool to be a part of like one of Goldberg's like epic streak matches. Never saw Sting live, which that always disappointed me. There's Ron. Also, did you hear the absolutely hilarious fake news story about the main event of Evolution? What was it? Ron Simmons beat Vader.
Simmons making all his fans, including very happy Jesse the Body Ventura, but this is a great challenge for him coming up.
Absolutely. He's got to face the maniacal Cactus Jack, but I'll tell you, that moment we saw moments earlier had to be the greatest moment in Ron Simmons' life.
Indeed it was, fans, and when we come back, the heavyweight championship of the world will be decided next on the Clash of the Champions.
Jim Ross always looks like he's in pain when he smiles.
The man who will be the official, Mr. Ernie Shavers.
Mr. Blair, you're going to show me the same respect to Charlotte with 6 months fans. I'm the referee here. There will be no further in this contest. I'm here to see what you guys got for fair contest, man. I'm not going to play partiality. I mean that.
What the hell's that guy saying? Would you rather AJ come back or Karma at Evolution? Well, AJ's not coming back. That's like Karma seems more in the realm of possibility. Cactus Jack, Mick Foley. This is probably his first world title match. Possibly first one I can recall.
On the Clash of the Champions, it is for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first the challenger from Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, weighing 301 pounds. Cactus
Bang bang.
Jack.
Cactus Jack, the challenger, being introduced. You talk about high-risk offense. He's the guy that has perfected that. And now let's go back up for the introduction of our champion.
There's Ron.
And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent from Royal Province, weighing 275 pounds, the WCW World Heavyweight Champion.
The main would be Roman versus Braun, with Roman fighting for the honor of all the women, and the show would end with the women celebrating with Ron and Ronda raising his hand. Yeah, that's not true. That's not going to happen. When did Foley start to be known as a legend? Probably around like 98 is when they started like throwing around like the legend that is Mick Foley and like the hardcore legend and all that other stuff. Maybe 97 when he came in as Cactus Jack to the WWF for the first time. That match with Triple H on Raw.
Go out to the floor with Cactus Jack, because in my opinion, if the match ends up on the floor, we could very well see a new champion right here tonight on the Clash of Champions.
Cactus Jack is
Were Mick and DDP both using Bang Bang? No. Mick was doing Bang Bang. DDP was doing Feel the Bang. They're completely different.
Tony Schiavone, Larry Zbyszko, Missy Hine, and Kenny Long every Saturday morning at 9:05 for the all-new Power Hour. Exciting new look, and we hope you'll tune in this Saturday morning at 9:05 Eastern as Simmons has that huge arm in a side headlock position, and he is so strong, Jesse Ventura, in his upper body.
Absolutely, and if the champ can wear down Cactus Jack with
Headlock takedown.
take him down to the mat and hold on to that headlock, he's going to be successful. But you can see Cactus Jack will pull the tights.
How do you define a legend in wrestling?
Or breaking any other rule in wrestling.
Somebody who leaves a legacy that is almost mythical. Like, you know, when it's all said and done, and I look back on like the accomplishments and the big matches that they had in their career, and I can look back and talk about that person as like someone that really left an impact on the business.
And Simmons cranking down on that side.
How funny would it be if today's fans chanted Zeus's name like they did for Moose? I'd be in favor of it. I was a Moose. I was a Zeus mark when I was a kid. I dug Zeus. I was a fan of it. Granted, I was also 4 years old, but you know.
That was a smart move by Cactus Jack. You saw him follow Ron Simmons into the ropes. Now he's taking it out to the floor. But you saw him follow Simmons into the ropes.
What is he gonna do?
Came off the ropes. He did not know where Jack was. Jack nailed him.
Cactus Jack wants to come out for that.
He wants to do that ridiculous jump off the apron elbow onto concrete because he's a crazy son of a bitch.
He's a smarter guy than he looks.
That's right. He ain't no dummy. Simmons was waiting for him out there. Normally, if his opponent is not waiting for him, he'll drop the elbow on him to the floor. But that time the champ was waiting. Cactus is no dummy. Oh, and look at him scratch the back. Wow, biting him. He's biting him.
Cactus Jack, a real brawler. Out of the mold of the late great Bruiser Brody. He'll put his body on the line. That's what he's doing here. I talked with him briefly before we went on the air, and he didn't give any information we didn't already know. He said, I'm going to do, Ross, whatever it takes to win the title. Whatever it takes.
That's what you have to do. It's a chance in a lifetime for him. How many more chances is Cactus Jack going to get to be the World Heavyweight Champion? He's got to pull out the stops, let it all go. And, you know, that's what Ron Simmons is going to face every time he gets into the ring.
Into the corner.
Face desperate men who only get one shot at the time.
Ooh, boot to the face.
Cactus Jack caught Simmons coming in with a foot. A lot of people want a shot at Simmons.
Oh, Jesus. Ron's beating the shit out of him. Is Primetime on WWE Network? Yes, they don't have every episode, though. But they do have some of it there. Foley clothesline. Yep, the Cactus clothesline.
And here's where it's Cactus's advantage now. He's got it out to the floor. No telling what he's going to do out here.
Ooh, swinging neck breaker on the floor. That could not have felt good.
Here in WCW. What a hard-hitting athleticism between these two.
Where? Look in the vault.
Not even their bodies are going to stand up the concrete floor for too long. Simmons coming back, firing some
Favorite McFoley match?
Cactus Jack.
I have to think about probably the street fight with Triple H at Royal Rumble 2000. That one's up there. Is Cactus going to do an Insiguri? No. Okay. Oh, but he got a big clothesline in. Bang, bang.
Another big-time clothesline, this time on the left side, Jess.
I'm amazed at how well
He's just clobbering him.
doing actually wrestling in the ring with the champion. And a third clothesline, and I'll tell you, Champion Ron Simmons is hurting right now.
It's maybe all right here. 3 high-impact clotheslines. There indeed is a method to the madness of Cactus Jack as he reaches in that reverse chin lock. He's making Simmons carry that 300 pounds.
And you know what the tough part is here for Ron Simmons? This ain't football. He don't get a chance to call timeout. He can't go to the sidelines if he's hurt. He's got to stick it out in there with a madman like Cactus Jack.
I had comments from Cactus
What body part is Stone Cold Stunner supposed to target? Like the jaw and the neck.
They were really focused for this matchup. We knew then it was going to be a tremendous.
Supposedly most of the SummerSlam card is confirmed.
Very impressed, quite frankly, of the game plan that is being executed by
I don't even know what the SummerSlam card is, to be honest. I know they're doing AJ and Joe, and Roman versus Lesnar, but that's about it. That's all I know. Oh, Ron's gonna power out.
Simmons back up vertical, but Cactus caught him coming in again. Cactus Jack taking advantage of Simmons' over-aggressive nature, and now rams his head into the top turnbuckle. Follows it with a headbutt that even staggers.
Oh!
And Simmons comes back.
Now they're just trading headbutts.
Exchanging headbutts. And Simmons gets the better of the situation.
That's Excedrin headache number 29 right there, Ross.
I'm sure all of Simmons.
Mojo Rawley versus Bobby Roode. That's not on the main card. That can't be on the main card. 1. No. Cactus kicks out.
And this is a fist fight. Oh,
Cactus got that shot in.
able to capitalize on that situation. Kicking Simmons, but Simmons down a 3-point stand.
Oh, boom!
4. Oh, 3-point stand. Got Cactus in the face. The awesome champion.
Oh, shoulder tackle. 1. Cactus kicks out.
The New Mexico Madman will not stay down.
Becky versus Carmella, Ronda versus Alexa, and Seth versus Ziggler.
Firing Cactus into the ropes.
What is Cactus?
For the strength of Simmons.
Oh! What the hell was that?
For the cover here, or the pin, we should say.
That was like the weirdest thing I've ever seen, but it looked cool.
A unique style backdrop. He actually suspended
Miz versus... Oh, they're doing Miz versus Brian?
weight on top of Cactus.
Clothesline.
Clothesline. Big time clothesline from the Warner Robins Georgia native. And Cactus again negotiates Simmons outside. This is Cactus Jack's domain outside the ring, as Jesse the Body Ventura documented.
Well, the more it goes outside, the more Cactus comes closer to winning the title. Scoops him up.
Oh! Body slam on the concrete.
He slammed it with tremendous velocity.
Elbow time.
Concrete floor.
Elbow time.
They have a count of 10. All the others are trying to get him back to the ring, but now Cactus Jack.
He's measuring him, Ross. He's measuring him.
He got it.
He dropped it. He got it right off the apron. Over 300 pounds on the heavyweight champion of the world.
I don't think the champ could get up from that one. We could see a count out right here.
Well, Cactus Jack certainly doesn't want that. Look at Simmons. He's back up standing.
Remarkable that he could get back into the ring.
What an athletic display.
Reversal.
for these two. Simmons caught it.
Spine buster.
High impact move by the powerful champion of the world. Slows down Cactus Jack. Irish whip, far side.
And a power slam. 1, 2, 3. Simmons wins it. That was a little fun match. That was a nice little like brawling power match there. That was enjoyable.
I tell you, look like the Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. What a bloodbath here.
There you see the sidewalk slam. Boom, Ron Simmons, the champion, depositing Cactus Jack. And here he catches him in the patented power body slam. Coming down with all his weight, but I'll tell you what, Ron Simmons learned a valuable lesson tonight. Nobody is going to lay down for the champion.
Fans, when we come back, we'll take a look at the new NWA Heavyweight Champion of the World right after this timeout on TBS.
Beautiful Bobby told that guy, he said, take your best home, and the guy said, I don't have one. Beautiful Bobby again, it's time for me on the bridge of the nose.
Do you have a favorite Christopher Lee role? I guess Dracula, even though that wasn't his. Well, Saruman. Yeah, that would be his best, I would think. Did you know Taker and Kane wrestled each other 19 times on pay-per-view? Only 19? I'm surprised it's that low. Think about the next time you complain about how many times Orton and Cena have wrestled. No, I got sick of Taker and Kane too, trust me. Like, that was one I also got sick of.
Absolutely, you know, Chono winning the NWA title there, you see him getting...
Chono wins the NWA title.
Remember one thing, the guy had the home field advantage. Rude had to travel a long, long way, and, you know, the results could have been a little different had it happened here in the United States.
3 nights of sellouts for that tournament, ladies and gentlemen, in the upcoming weeks right here on TBS. As a matter of fact, beginning next weekend, we are going to be showing you some action from that tournament, and we'll be telling you more about that this Saturday.
How many times have AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels wrestled? Jesus, I can't. That's another one that got pounded into oblivion.
Of the finals, remember, Ravishing Rick Rude and Masahiro Chono made it to the finals. Chono was trained by the legendary ZEUS.
Absolutely. Here you see Ravishing Rick Rude firing into Chono's belly, going up to the top rope. Chono trying to front face lock Rude right here, but look at Rude. Boom! Takes him all the way over with a suplex off the turnbuckle.
Masahiro Chono, one of the nicest guys that I've ever been around in the sport. Really trying to
Future NWO Japan member.
What a wonderful person he is, and what a phenomenal athlete. But he and Rude really battled back and forth, back and forth. Quite frankly, Jesse the Body Ventura, this match could have been won by either man virtually at any time in this contest, as the fans are seeing.
Absolutely, and that's the point I'm making, Jim Ross. Was Ravishing Rick Rude, as you can see.
God, this Rude and Chono match that they're showing clips of, this looks awesome. I kind of want to see this match in full now.
He's the visiting team, and you know as well as I do from pro football, it always helps to be the home team, Jim Ross.
Well, he was at a disadvantage, but right here at this point in time in the contest, he was controlling the action. And here Rude would go to the top and take a major chance in this contest.
How many times will Seth and Ziggler wrestle? At least 15 more.
Many thought here that it would be over. Rude measuring Masahiro Chono on the top and hits that knee. The knee right off the top, but Chono would not stay there.
God, I kind of want to see this match in full. This looks like a great match.
Rude continued to
all for $9.99 on the WCW net. Oh, wait.
And started building offensive momentum. And then the Ravishing one made that big move.
And he fires Chono outside the ring, but you can see Chono responding immediately to the top rope, catching Ravishing Rick Rude off balance, not ready for it, catches him with the shoulder, hooks the leg, 1, 2, and 3, and wins it right there. Big upset in my book.
What a matchup. I'd love to see a rematch between those two men. As a matter of fact, I know that Ravishing Rick Rude is really thinking about daily challenging Chono anywhere in the world for the NWA title. As a matter of fact, Jess, I know you got something to say about that. Let's hear some comments that were made earlier today from Ravishing Rick Rude.
You know, first time around for the NWA title, Ravishing Rick Rude learned a valuable lesson. When you're in Japan, you do as the Japanese. Now, Chono, it's round 2 for the NWA title.
In late 1997, Brett and HBK were both heels. If Brett versus HBK was supposed to be main event Mania 14, how would they have gotten there? No, it wasn't supposed to be at Mania 14. They were supposed to face at Mania 13 in another face versus face match, but everything got changed after Shawn lost his smile, and then we all know what happened there.
Notice the poetic of Rude, not only a great body, but the poetic mind that Ravishing Rick Rude has. He's my favorite, without a doubt.
You Minnesota just that way. Ladies and gentlemen, later in the program, an extensive look at Halloween Havoc, our next pay-per-view Sunday, October 25th, and we'll be back with more on the Clash of Champions right after you see this.
You're just mad because we stopped the chop.
We're getting that Halloween Havoc commercial again. Was Brett's legacy tarnished after the screw job and leaving WWF? I would say it tarnished his legacy. It kind of put this weird highlight on his career or low light on his career that's going to be talked about forever, but I don't know if it tarnished his legacy. Can you imagine if Austin's career really did end at SummerSlam 97? Yeah, WWF would have been fucked.
And I've enjoyed
They would have lost like the star of the generation. Yeah, they'd have been fucked.
Look at me. I can barely stand. Ron Simmons, I came this close to capturing the championship of the world. But tonight, you were a better man. My head's been hurt. My pancreas punished. I've never felt this bad in my life. But I've never been happy.
Wait until June '98, buddy.
I felt your heartbeat. Quickly. I felt your pulse race. You've got weaknesses, Ron. I couldn't overcome them, but I found a man who could. I called up Danny's five. I said, Dan, stay home. I've got a man on our side who knows Ron Simmons better than anyone. He's traveled with him. He's wrestled with him. He's the Barbarian's new tag team partner, and his name is Butch Reed.
Butch Reed. Hacksaw Butch Reed.
The natural Hacksaw Butch Reed.
You got it.
Former member of Doom.
All right, well, fans, let's go back up to Gary.
Yeah, we've got the Barbarian. Wow. I don't know what happened there. Sean lost his smile. Okay, the story goes, it was supposed to be Brett and Sean at Mania 13 for the title, with Sean dropping the belt to Brett. Sean supposedly didn't want to drop the belt to Brett and concocted this whole story where his knee was injured, and that's when he surrendered the championship on that famous episode of Raw where he said, I've lost my smile, and he hands Vince the belt and just leaves and doesn't defend the belt. So they have to go through this whole fiasco of making a new world champion, and that's how we wound up with Sid versus Undertaker at WrestleMania 13, because that was just a very shitty plan B. That's like the Cliff Notes version anyway.
We know you have no love lost for Dustin Rhodes, but this Butch Reed situation is a complete surprise.
It's a signal to Ron Simmons. See, this isn't the first time that Ron
David,
Simmons
welcome to the stream.
No, he and Butch Reed were world tag team.
Now we got Cactus Jack on commentary. That's great.
But he can't because he's standing there, and his name is Butch Reed.
HBK's doc said he just needed 2 months of rehab with no surgery. Yeah, that's what he said. Here's the thing. Given Sean's history of pulling this type of shit with, forfeiting titles without having to drop them, it's like, and everybody, like literally everybody says, it's like that injury wasn't legit. It's like, he could have dropped the belt, if any case. Double drop kicks by Dustin Rhodes and Barry Windham. Double drop kicks again. So I take it you don't believe HBK's injury. I don't believe that he couldn't have dropped the belt. Let me put it that way. It's just very convenient timing.
Oh, no, no tie-out. Windham in there with his rival, the Barbarian. Boy, what talent.
Oh, got out of it.
So big and strong and massive. And
roll up. 1, 2, no.
Generation superstar from Sweetwater, Texas. Got an ear fall, Jess.
And that's what Wyndham's going to have to do. He cannot match up strength with the Barbarian. He's got to try to finesse him. Now he's getting caught in the wrong corner. And Barry Windham,
do you believe Montreal was a work? There's that part of my brain that always wonders if the whole thing was a work. I assume it was real, but if it came out tomorrow that the whole thing was a work, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. So there's that part of my brain that always suspects it, but for right now, I'd say it was legit. There's Butch Reed. Oh, God. Dustin gets his foot. God, Dustin is so freaking tall. It's ridiculous. Oh! Wow. Rhodes took a nasty fall there. How did celebrities interact with fans before social media? I don't know, answering fan letters. Twitter, by the way, is the worst thing that ever happened to celebrities. And if I were a famous person, I would get off Twitter immediately. Wasn't Michaels injured at 14, though? Yeah, he was. He was able to drop the belt then, but not the year before. You know, it's weird. Double clothesline by Simmons, or not Simmons, Butch Reed and Barbarian.
Lots of times when you get a partner into the ring, he's actually more of of a bother to you than a help to you.
I got a little saying, it says you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can fool very
So would the Barbarian and Butch Reed, would they be the Powers of Doom? Would that be their tag team name? Who would win, Dustin Rhodes versus Goldust versus Black Reign? Well, Black Reign, obviously, because he has the Rat as his partner.
Well, I think the Barbarian also gave him a shot to the throat right there because you saw Dustin Rhodes staggering.
Versus Seven. Yes, we got to throw Seven in there. Remember, Taker did threaten to beat the shit out of HBK if he didn't do the right thing. That's the story. I don't know how true it is, but that's always been the story that's been passed around, that Taker sat at Gorilla, taped up his hands just to make sure that Shawn did the right thing. But that was the reputation that Shawn had back then, where it's like, did Undertaker really have to sit at Gorilla to threaten to beat the shit out of him if he didn't, just to get him to do the right thing?
The tag has been made. Here comes the veteran from Warrensburg, Missouri. Hacksaw. Dustin reaching to make that tag. Barry Windham. They got close, but no cigar.
Dustin Rhodes got a lot of guts.
Beautiful reverse neck breaker. This could be it.
Could be over, but he got two. Just got two that time. When Rhodes able to kick out.
I'll tell you, you got to give Dustin Rhodes the natural a little credit too. I see him
Ooh,
so many times.
clothesline.
There's no way he's going to kick out. Somehow he manages to snake that shoulder off the canvas and avoid a 3 count.
I'm sure that if Ron Simmons is out of the shower, he's really getting an eyeful here from this big Barbarian and his former partner, his former friend, Hacksaw Butch Reed, who's putting those big right hands right to the face of the natural.
Take a look, Ron. Take a good look. Destiny's looking you right in your miserable little eyes.
I'm sure
Dustin Rhodes, Goldust 7, and Black Reign versus Foley, Cactus, Dude Love, and Mankind. There's a Survivor Series match for you.
For a long, long time, and he has been punished by two big, powerful men.
Well, again, I've said it many times. The key to tag team is cutting off the ring and keeping one.
Where does Ed Leslie fit into that? All of his gimmicks. God, what were all of his gimmicks? You had Brutus the Barber Beefcake. You had Brother Brudai, the Zodiac, the Booty Man, the Disciple. I think there was one more. I want to say there was one more in there, too.
It might be expensive.
I'm a professional boss. You can expect me here to share my wisdom.
Jesse, how much more can Dustin Rhodes sustain of this?
Not much. Look at the Barbarian almost slams him through that mat, lines him up.
Oh, man.
Big elbow on him. This has got
A Barbarian and Reed are beating the crap out of this kid.
Beat him.
Poor Dustin.
I'll tell you, Dustin Rhodes being about 6'6", 6'7", he's got that leverage to where if he kicks his legs hard, he can manage to stay out of the pin. Look at double axe handle by Hacksaw Butch Reed as he comes off that second.
How much would you pay Undertaker to tell all the stories he's seen? That would be, I don't know how much I'd pay, but that is a shoot interview or a book or something I'd be all over, because it would be fascinating to hear what Undertaker has to say about everything. Fernando Estrada, welcome to the stream today. We're getting close to the end of Clash of the Champions, but we still have Saturday night's main event to go after that. Why is it called Gorilla? The Gorilla position, it's called that because of Gorilla Monsoon, right? That's where that comes from, because that was where Gorilla would sit when he would be in production. Go ahead, tag in Wyndham.
I'm going to see this. I'm going to see it loud enough so Butch Reed can hear. Butch, we proved our point. Finish him.
Oh, double clothesline.
Double clotheslines there. They both found their mark. But again, remember that Dustin Rhodes has been there in the ring for a long, long time.
Yeah, that's why an Undertaker shoot would be fascinating, because he was there for everything. Like, almost everything. Got the tag. Here comes Wyndham. Back body drop.
Dustin Rhodes been resting a long time. He's got a head of steam, and he's taking a drop kick.
Drop kick by Wyndham. Clothesline.
But how long is he going to be able to do that?
Big clothesline by Wyndham.
He should have tried to finish it right there. There's no way he doesn't have the time on his hands to fit the superplex on the Barbarian.
Wyndham going for the superplex.
Superplex.
He got it. He floats over. But look at Reed.
you said, Jim Ross. Wyndham and the Barbarians.
Double drop kick. You know, Wyndham and Dustin, they were a good team. Ooh! Big boot to the face. Barbarian and Butch Reed, they get it.
A tremendous boot by the Barbarian on Barry Wyndham. He caught Wyndham with that boot and knocked him cold. Let's go back to replay. Here you see Wyndham turning around. Wham! Look at the boot, about a size 14, right to the jaw. Will knock any man in the world out. Barbarian hooking the leg. 1, 2, 3, and a big win for the tag team. And now, let's go to my colleague, Jim Ross.
All right, thanks very much, Jesse the Body Ventura. Boy, these two men were devastating. This sounds like a conspiracy.
It's not a conspiracy. What it is the best tag team in World Championship Wrestling. But we don't set our
The powers of doom.
Stop there. No. The Barbarians on my left, Butch Reed on my right. Ron Simmons, you better have eyes in the back of your head, because if the left one don't get you, then the right one will. Bye bye. Bye bye.
There's the 8-man tag.
Goddamn, Foley. You're magical.
Clash of the Champions.
There's Jake. They just showed Jake Roberts for like 2 seconds.
He says he walks up to you and talks to you once a year, twice a year, New Year's Eve. I understand that many times he'd try to walk on stage and take over the show. What about that? You tried to stop anybody?
Would Taker have stuck around as long if he wasn't such a big name? Well, no. Like, that's the thing. It's like he's been there forever because of the attraction and what he's meant to the company. If he didn't mean as much to the company, he wouldn't have lasted as long as he did. Is Foley the greatest talker of all time? I don't know if he's number one, but he's one of my favorites. I'd put him in the top 5.
Well, fans, in just a few moments, the big 8-man elimination tag team matchup will occur right here in the ring.
Yay, Survivor Series match, guys.
That has brought all 8 of these men together. Let's take a look, and then we'll be back for this 8-man elimination tag team event.
Tonight's elimination match will feature 8 men with burning issues to settle. Sting and Nikita Koloff will team with the Steiners against the combination of Big Van Vader, the Super Invader, Ravishing Rick Rude, and their partner, Jake the Snake Roberts. Sting and Vader are certainly no strangers.
Yeah, I love Piper. I love Dusty. I love Rock. All very good. I was a big fan of Jake. Jake might be my number 1.
Vader at 445. Oh, no, Sting is helpless. Vader on the second rope. That's over 400.
Ernie Ladd? Yeah, he was a good talker.
Vader went on to win the world title 5 months later at the Great American Bash.
We watched this match last week. Those of you that were on the stream last week, we saw this match. 1, 2, Vader wins.
But Vader is not the only problem Sting has faced. There was the shocking appearance of Jake Roberts on August 2nd in Baltimore.
DDT on the chair. That Stinger's gonna be.
DDT!
Sting was down, but more determined than ever to meet the challenge posed by Roberts, as stated in this recent in-ring interview.
Jake, take another look. I am your counselor. I am the guy that's going to straighten that mind, that sick, demented mind of yours out. Haven't you figured that?
One of Sting's teammates is Nikita Koloff, a man whose goal is to defeat Rick Rude and become U.S. champ. This drive has led to an intense bitter war review, a war that at times has gone beyond the ring. And there's Nikita Koloff at Rude's dressing room door. He's going into the dressing room.
Look at this. They're going at it.
Backstage brawl.
Both Rude and Koloff will certainly focus on each other in this elimination match. Teaming with Sting and Nikita will be the awesome Steiner brothers. Scott and Rick know the opponents in this match all too well.
God, that double team like DDT, that looked nasty.
In this 8-man elimination match, when a man is pinned, counted, and qualified, he must leave the ring. The match continues until one entire team is eliminated.
I like how Super Invader didn't fit into the storyline build up to this at all whatsoever. He's just the guy filling out the heel team.
Ladies
Do you have a least favorite Sting match? The match with Hogan at Starrcade 97, just because of what the match should have meant to the company and how they kind of dropped the ball. That always was disappointing to me.
Very basically, ladies and gentlemen, each time a team member moves the ball, he must leave the ring area. The match continues until all 4 members of one team are eliminated. Introducing team number 1. First, accompanied by the First Lady of WCW, Medusa. He's from Birmingham, Minnesota.
Why not just make this a 6-man tag then? Because then it's like you can't. You got to use both Steiners, right? You know. Oh, Victory Road against Jeff. Oh, Victory Road. Yeah, that goes without saying. Like the Victory Road match with Jeff. Yeah, that's the worst match of Sting's career, just by default.
Accompanied by 7-time former World Heavyweight Champion Harley Race from the Rocky Mountains, weighing 400.
Yes, Jake Roberts looked like he's got a bit of a beer gut there.
And from Bangkok, Thailand, 270.
It's weird seeing Jake Roberts and Rick Rude on the same team after their feud in '88.
Assaulted by Brad Armstrong. Or by Brian Pillman. What's going to happen here? Let's go back up to Gary the Vet.
And ladies and gentlemen, their opponents.
Big fat Vader. Yeah, real clever, dude. Here comes the Stinger. And there's the Steiners. I'd say it's the worst match of Jeff Hardy's career. Sting was just a bystander. Yeah, Sting actually did like exactly what he was supposed to do in that situation. Just get the fuck out of there. Shoot on him, pin him, and get the fuck out.
We've already seen an television champion crown and Ricky Steamboat. Brad Armstrong, due to his injury, was stripped of the light heavyweight title and was assaulted, unsportsmanlike, assaulted by Brian Pillman.
Who do you think is going to win the G1? I wish it would be Kota just to have Kota versus Omega. Kota's up there as one of my choices. I don't know what the standings are because I haven't watched any of it. I've got to get caught up on that. But like Kota would be one of my top picks as well. Do you think Surfer Sting is underrated in terms of match quality? People seem to like Surfer Sting, and he had the best matches of his career during that run. So. This would be better if it was Sting and Steiners versus Vader, Roberts, and Rick Rude. Fair, but, you know, Survivor Series. It's got to be 4 or 5, right? Naito could win it. Again, I don't know what the standings are right now, so I have to get caught up on that. All right, we're starting off with Rick Steiner and Vader.
Submission, count out, or disqualification. The man must return to the locker room, and they're exchanging those right hands.
Rick Steiner getting the advantage. Oh, boot to the face. Oh, short arm clothesline by Vader. You will love Jay White versus Suzuki. Trust me. Okay. Oh, big clothesline, Vader. Killing Rick Steiner right now. Better in-ring worker, Surfer Sting or John Cena? Oh my God! Overhead belly to belly by Rick Steiner on Vader. Ho! Better in-ring worker, Surfer Sting or John Cena? I'd go Surfer Sting. Cena's matches always annoyed me. Now we got the Super Invader. He tags in Nikita. Yeah, the two least interesting guys in the match.
And we're still getting a lot of feeling out going on in this match as you see new people come into the ring. It's like starting all over again.
Koloff and Sting have an Australian Rules Tag Team matchup signed with Jake the Snake Roberts and Cactus Jack.
Oh.
I'd like to say that one. Koloff standing his ground here.
Koloff won't go down.
No light heavyweight.
Look at this, a little nose to nose right here.
He messed with that elbow, messed with a clothesline. He hooks him up, but Koloff tries to counter. Avoids it.
Oh, down he goes.
The shoulder block there. Another shoulder block. The ropes are low in.
Oh. Nope.
And he got two.
And again, let me reiterate, if a man loses anyway, disqualification, thrown out of the ring, counted out.
Now here comes Rick Rude.
He's gone, and his team then goes 4-on-3.
These two men have really waged a war over the United States Heavyweight Championship. Koloff and Rude. And Rude is the number one contender for the world.
Oh.
Settled early. Koloff got the kick in, and now working on the arm of the ravishing one from Robbinsdale, Minnesota. Tag made. Here comes Scotty Steiner.
There's Scott Steiner and Rick Rude. That's an interesting pairing right there.
Man, this guy and his brother, they have been working so hard.
Should Angle have implemented milk drinking into his gimmick as much as Austin did with beer? Maybe not as much, because pouring milk all over yourself, milk gets sticky and messy. But they could have made it more of a gimmicky thing. Vader deserved to have his moment in the sun, but WWE didn't give it to him. Well, that's Vince's prerogative.
Steiner's got him hooked. Rick needs to make the tag. He is close, so close, and he does. Make the exchange.
Super Invader.
Who will square off with Scotty Steiner here at the Clash of the Champions. Before we go off the air, we'll let you know how the voting is going on either rescinding or not rescinding, in the fans' opinion, the off-the-top rope rule.
Super Invader with a big knee to Scott Steiner, follows it up with a right hand, and Steiner down on one knee. Something's got to give here pretty quick, Jim Ross.
Oh! Scott's got him. There you go! Double underhook powerbomb. Overhead belly to belly. Frankensteiner. Frankenstein! Oh, but Rude got the blind tag. Swinging net breaker by Rude. How would you have booked Hogan versus Sting from Starrcade bell to bell? I mean, part of me would be up. There's Jake. Part of me wonders if they should have just had Sting beat him in 30 seconds. But yeah, I would have done like a lot of NWO interference and the WCW locker room coming out to help Sting and a lot of like Gaga and craziness, and then Sting just kills him. Scott's all alone with Vader. What are your thoughts on Ciampa winning the NXT title? Love it. It's great. He's the top heel in wrestling. He should be the champ. Oh, Jake just got knocked off the apron by Scott. And Nikita just shoved Vader, and Vader's like, fuck you.
And Vader keeps Steiner in the corner and makes a delicate tag to ravishing Rick Rude.
Can Vader take a Frankensteiner? I would think so.
From Rude earlier regarding Masahiro Chono, the NWA champion. I'm sure his thoughts now are far from the rising sun. Now Scotty Steiner takes the off.
Oh, tilt-a-whirl slam by Scott. Rick Rude getting to the corner. Tags in Jake. Come on, Scott. Scott gets Nikita Koloff. God, Sting hasn't been tagged in yet, I don't think. Oh! Jake is getting slammed from pillar to post here.
He's hitting anything that moves, including the legal man, Jake the Snake Roberts, on his left to right.
Oh, man. Oh, big shot. Roll up by Jake. Jake pins Nikita. But there's Sting. Sting goes after Jake. I've seen the blocks for the G1, but I don't know the standings. Vader should have been WWF champion in '97. They had no idea what they were doing with the title that year. I agree. Yeah. Taker was just kind of the guy holding the belt. Oh, Super Invader. Getting knocked. 1, 2, 3. The two least interesting guys are eliminated. Now we got Sting and Vader, baby. Oh, he tagged out. Now we got Rick Steiner against Vader. Oh, big clothesline. German suplex on Vader. Oh, Vader caught him. Power slam. Do you think Killshot is turning heel? Yes. Also, what is your reaction to the Rabbit Tribe segment? Loved it because I love the Rabbit Tribe. I thought that the reveal of Killer Cross was great and murdering Masquerita Sagrada was awesome. Oh, big splash on Rick. 1, 2, 3. He kicked out. Yeah, everyone pretty much agrees that Vader should have won the title from Shawn, but, you know, didn't want to do that. And also, to be fair, like, Vader's personality apparently wasn't a match for the company either. Like, Vince didn't like dealing with him. Shawn didn't like dealing with him.
Geez, they never hit me like that in the amateurs. Hey, Rick, this is the pros.
Front face lock. Rick's got a rich hand. He's reaching in that head just and one of the most painful maneuvers in the sport.
Front face lock can knock a man out. You hook it under the chin, you twist the head, and Rick Steiner's feeling it right now from two of the most powerful arms in wrestling, belonging to that of Ravishing.
Rick Rude's tights look weird. I don't even know what that's supposed to be. Come on, Rick, get the tag. Oh, he tagged Sting, but the ref didn't see it. The referee didn't see that tag either. News breaking: Nikolai Volkov has died. Oh, that's a shame. Zero. Thank you for the news, Zero Cool 66. Big power slam on Vader. What? No. Yeah, Volkov passed away. That's sad. Steiner, is he going to get a German again? Oh, no! No way! No way! Yeah, they couldn't get him up. They were going for a doomsday device, or like the Steiner Bulldog, and Rick could not get Vader up. I was like, yeah, no way. Oh, they both go out of the ring.
Scotty Steiner has been eliminated from the match.
For what? Oh, he got DQ'd for that bullshit top rope move rule. Oh, back body drop on the floor. Okay, Sting and Jake Roberts are the only ones in the ring right now. Rude awakening on Steiner. It's Rick and Vader.
Vader and Steiner are legal, apparently so. The referee double counting both of them.
If both men are counted out, Sting will be by himself. Vader back in.
Vader makes it. There's no way Steiner's gonna.
Rick Steiner gets counted out. So it's Sting versus Vader, Rick Rude, and Jake Roberts. Sunset flip by Sting. Oh, Vader missed!
I'll tell you what, Sting is doing a phenomenal thing right here. He's not only taking Vader, he's taking Jake the Snake, but the problem is there's 3 of them. How long can he...
This is going to be one of those days because also Brian Christopher hospitalized after hanging himself in... Jesus. Hanged himself in jail. Sheik and Volkov they were pretty good together. Scorpion Deathlock on Jake. No! Rude with the clothesline. Sting's about to overcome them odds. Yeah, he's going to overcome those odds.
And look at, there's the tag. Now you get the fresh, ravishing Rick Rude coming into the ring. There is no way Sting is going to survive this 3-on-1, Ross. As great as he is, the former world champion, physically,
leapfrog. Sting gets a shot. Sting is hitting everything that moves. Retro Kid, welcome aboard. Yeah, Brian Christopher just had a DUI, right? No.
They got 2 out of it. Jake Roberts just put some stick handler's glove. What's crazy here?
Inverted atomic drop. Sting is doing everything he can. Slingshot suplex. Vader coming off the top. Oh my God! He killed both Rude and Sting with that move. Would Rick Rude work it today in WWE? I think so. Great worker. Did he disqualify Vader? But Jesus. There you go.
I'm not so sure Sting can defend himself, Jess.
He's not going to be able to because right now, if I know Jake, it's DDT time.
That's also true. Yeah, they'd ruin Rick Rude if they had him today.
Jake Roberts and Sting, what a rivalry exists between these two.
God, Sting is dead. DDT! 1, 2, 3. Jake Roberts gets the win.
I'll tell you what, Jim Ross, we'll give Sting all the credit in the world. He was game. He fought.
Did the announcer just say the winners of the match, the team of Ravishing Rick Rude? Oh, that looked nasty.
He hit Sting both. Both men are down. He came off the top rope. That disqualified him. But Jake the Snake pulled.
Did you find Heenan annoying when you watched him live? No, I loved Heenan. If this was Cena or Roman, they'd kick out at 2 DDTs. Of course. So now Impact is better than main roster WWE? Yes. Yes, it is. After Slammiversary, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of back on board with Impact. Okay, that was the main event of the show, but according to the time stream, we still got like 7 minutes left, so I don't know how this is going to end.
Thanks for staying with us, ladies and gentlemen, and the off the top rope rule that's been voted on the 900 number. 88% want the rule rescinded. A bigger landslide than when you were elected mayor of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota.
Almost.
88% of the fans voted to have the rule taken away.
Michael Hayes will lead Arn Anderson and Beautiful Bobby to the ring to take on the Steiner brothers. That's this Saturday night at 6:05.
Oh, I want to watch that episode of Saturday Night.
We've got a lot more to come. But right now,
Arn Anderson and Bobby Eaton versus the Steiners. I want to watch that.
Halloween Havoc coming your way October 25th.
So the biggest wrestling company in America is at the bottom of the barrel. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but I'm still watching WWE. It's just NXT. and 205 Live, which honestly hasn't been that great, but, you know. God, this goddamn Halloween Havoc thing, they've been hyping this thing all night. This better be good. As far as creative goes, WWE is the worst. Right now, yeah. They're in the same club that Pee Wee went into in Pee Wee's Big Adventure. They're going to start playing tequila in a minute. Impact has gotten better, but funny thing is everybody jumping back on the bandwagon won't credit it to them basically being Lucha Underground light. Yeah, they basically are because they're using so many Lucha Underground guys, but I'll take it. Like, as long as it's good, I'll take it. So Impact is better because of one pay-per-view. The shows have gotten better too. That's the other thing. Like the last month or so, I've actually been kind of enjoying Impact. Two men enter, one man leaves. Two men enter, one man leaves. Two men enter, one man leaves. There's a stinger. I've been on a hiatus from wrestling. Have they done anything with Sami Zayn? Not that I'm aware of.
I knew you'd come. It was just a matter of time.
I knew you'd come.
When I started in Baltimore, when I get done with you, you'll wish never been born.
You talk too much. Get to the point. What's the deal?
Sting, relax. What's your hurry? I'm going to take my time and enjoy this moment.
Cut the crap. We'll have to come over there and kick your ass.
Sting, you don't get it, do you, man? You don't have a clue. Look around.
Zayn is injured. Okay, I didn't even know that. Some sources are saying that Grandmaster Sexay has in fact passed away now. Jesus.
You see, the deal is on the wheel. In Halloween Havoc, your worst nightmare will come true.
That's crazy.
12 of the toughest and most brutal matches in wrestling.
That's right. That's right. Brutal.
Hornswoggle?
You see, on the wheel, there's a cage match. There's a barbed wire match. There's a death match. Or there might even be a mystery match. But you see, the deal is...
What the hell is a mystery match?
Step up and spin that wheel. Once you spin it, where it stops.
Oh, Bobby Lashley's sister said that was painful. That was like, what the fuck are you doing?
One man comes out. The other... well...
I think Jake Roberts missed his calling as like an actor. This guy is like, you're looking at this, he's the best thing in the whole thing.
Step out of the fog, Sting. Clear your head. You're not thinking. I'm the master of all these matches. This is no game for me. This is fun, but it's not a game. We play it on my turf and my terms. So good luck, Sting. You're gonna need it.
So what are you waiting for? Let's do it now.
Spin the wheel, make the deal. Russian chain, first blood. Okay, they shot laser beams at each other. They just shot it. They shot laser beams at each other through their eyes. Now I know where Lucha Underground got its inspiration.
October 25th. Live only on pay-per-view.
Dario's Dial of Doom. Hasn't Lashley gotten better since he left WWF in 2006? Yeah, he's gotten better, but you know.
Halloween Havoc. Don't miss it. Be there.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
There's Bruno again. Were you attracted to Joy Giovanni? I don't know who that is. Who's Joy Giovanni? right, so that was Clash of the Champions 20. Very enjoyable show. The whole atmosphere of it being the 20th anniversary of TBS or wrestling on TBS gave it a fun atmosphere, and I enjoyed most of the matches. I thought the main event was really good. I thought the opening match was Steve Austin and Steamboat was really good. I thought Cactus Jack and Ron Simmons was fun, and the 2 other tag matches were solid. So all around, just a thoroughly entertaining episode. The Halloween Havoc video was unintentionally hilarious, but you know, I went on hiatus right before Okada versus Omega 4. God, that match was good. Omega Okada 4 was really good. Somewhere the writers for Lucha Underground watched this and thought one day they'd make a whole show like this. And here's the funniest thing. Like, this Halloween Havoc one with Jake and Sting is the least bad of the... Because they also did the White Castle of Fear. They also did the Beach Blast one. And this one was, like, the least cheesy. Joy Giovanni, she was the chick that WWE tried to pair with Big Show in 05. I still don't... Oh, she's the one that Kurt Angle walked in on in the shower? Was that her? Do you think Okada versus Omega 4 deserves 7 stars? I'm not big on star ratings. I don't really give a shit, and I think Meltzer's becoming a parody of himself with these like 7 stars and 8 stars and 14 stars and all this other stuff. But I thought the match was very good. It's my pick for match of the year so far. Yeah, right now I'm watching New Japan, I'm watching NXT, I'm watching Lucha Underground, I'm watching Impact, I'm watching Ring of Honor. I'm happy. Like I don't really need Raw or SmackDown. Yeah, the Beach Blast one is the one that I thought was hilarious. Yeah, that's the one I remember the most. Yeah, Nikolai Volkov has passed away. That's unfortunate. And apparently Grandmaster Sexay tried to hang himself in prison, which, Jesus, dude. It's not a good day for wrestling. Not good news. Okay, we are now going to jump into Saturday night's main event, but I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back in like 5 minutes, but okay, that was Joy Giovanni. Okay, cool. I got it right. You asked me if I was attracted to her. I don't really remember her, so I don't remember what she looked like, but whatever. I'll just say yes, because she was one of those model types that WWE hired, so I'm assuming she was hot. But anyway, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back in like 5 minutes, so don't go away. I have returned. What's up? What have you all been talking about? Homer Simpson singing Spanish Flea. During the intermission, please enjoy this compliment. Y'all got silly while I was gone. There's a rumor of introducing a women's IC title. Yeah, okay. Alrighty, so we're going to watch Saturday night's main event from May 1989. If you're following along on the network, I'll give you a minute to catch up. I should also note that this episode is in, if you go into the WWE Network, you're going to do shows, Vault, Saturday night's main event, 1989. It'll be the May 89 episode. The first Raw was weird. How was it weird? I'm just curious. Like, why do you think it was weird? It's probably weird by today's standards because it's unlike the way shows are done now, but in like every conceivable way. Yeah, Bobby Heenan trying to... Why was he not allowed in the building? That's the part that I'm trying to figure out. I mean, it was funny as hell, but I'm like, why is Bobby not allowed in the building? Doesn't he work there? Okay, guys, we're going to get started. The last segment on the first Raw involved Doink the Clown. Yeah, Jack Tunney didn't start the show with wrestler A, B, C, and D and make a tag match to open the show. Yeah, none of that crap happened. They actually had the matches, planned beforehand, which is crazy. Anyway, Saturday night's main event, May 1989. Hulk Hogan battles the Big Boss Man in a steel cage match for the WWE title. One of the more well-known matches from Saturday night's main event's history. And Demolition defends the tag titles against the Brainbusters. So this is going to be exciting. Israel Massey, welcome to the stream. Am I the only one who actually likes ZEUS? I like ZEUS. I was a mark for ZEUS when I was a kid. And he's actually going to make his debut on this episode. So let's check it out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Tonight, on Saturday night's main event, you Big Boss Man and the Slickster are gonna have your day in court, man. You dudes have been passing sentence on everybody around the WWF with your own brand of justice. But now, I'm the new WWF champion, and inside this steel cage, I'm the judge, the jury, and the executioner, brother. I'm gonna throw the book at you, man. The training, the prayers, and the vitamins are going up against the handcuffs and the nightstick. And once I find you guilty, boss man, in the steel cage, what are you going to look like when thousands of my Hulkamaniacs tell the largest arms in the world to push your fat head through the cage, boss man? There will be no mercy. There will be no pardons. I will sentence you to the maximum sentence, a lifetime in attorney at the doom of Hulkamania. What are you going to do, boss man, when Judge Hogan passes the final sentence on you?
That was awesome. I love that promo. And he had the steel cage in front of him when he did it. Demolition versus Brainbusters is like AOP versus Revival. That's a fair comparison. When did Big Boss Man turn face? He, Ted DiBiase was paying the Twin Towers to take Damian away from Jake Roberts and the $1 Million title and all sorts of other things. And Big Boss Man didn't feel comfortable with it and ultimately turned face. Yeah, I like Hogan's promos. He sounds like a crazy person. It's great. Could Cena pull off Hulkamania in the 80s? I have no idea. Because a lot of Cena's problems are just the way the product is handled now. So if he was around in the 80s, it probably would have worked. I don't know.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Vince McMahon along with Jesse the Bobby Ventura.
You know, McMahon,
Hi, Jesse.
also soybean country. You
I haven't seen you in 10 minutes.
Look at all them soybean products back there.
I don't like soybeans.
On hand tonight, Hulk Hogan defending the World Wrestling Federation Championship inside a steel cage against the Big Boss Man.
That's right. Now I'll say this. I think Hogan's title is in jeopardy because Hogan's not thinking about wrestling. He's thinking about my town, Hollywood, and his big movie premiere coming up.
Also scheduled, Demolition, the tag team title holders. They'll be meeting of challengers Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, the Brain Busters. And then from there, ravishing Rick Rude.
Share some food. Sorry, can't. Could you imagine Hogan hulking up every week on Raw? Yeah, it would get annoying. It would get old so fast. Oh, we're getting a replay of WrestleMania 5 where Rick Rude won the Intercontinental title. There's Bobby. How did the referee not see that? The referee is just as culpable as Heenan.
From WrestleMania 5, when your man, Ravishing Rick Rude, was awarded the Intercontinental title. Clearly, to this observer, you broke every rule in the book to get the belt for your man. Wrong. I didn't break rule number 1. Rule number 1, what's that? Simple. Tell him, Rick. Just win, baby. Just win.
That's rule number 1.
Bobby Heenan, that your first ever title is tarnished by your misconduct. Tarnished? Well, this belt shines. Shines almost as good as your little head, Chrome Dome. Now get off the subject. The belt is ours. Unless you happen to lose it tonight to Hacksaw Jim Duggan. You're a dreamer, cue ball, and so that humanoid Hacksaw Duggan. He'll never wear this belt. And you know what happened?
You mean like arriving, stunning, and then leaving? Yeah, that got old. They made Steve Austin, who was one of the most unpredictable characters in the history of wrestling. They made him like a boring. Oh, there's the shitty version of Rick Rude's theme. God, all 3 titles are on the line tonight. IC title, WWF title, tag titles. Why can't we have the old version of Rick Rude's theme, you monsters? God, this sounds so bad.
He's the Jesse the Body Award winner too, not just the Intercontinental Champion. That's right, he's still an accolade as well, I recall. That's right, he beat the Ultimate Warrior for that one too, didn't he? I don't know about that, Jesse.
Rule 1, Bobby Heenan is awesome. Rule 2, if Heenan isn't awesome, refer to Rule 1. Yet in hindsight, Austin at his peak was kind of predictable. I think of things like the Zamboni incident and the beer truck, and when he came in on the limousine with the monster truck wheels, and doing all like what crazy shit is Austin gonna do? And even when they did the corporate Stone Cold bit where he was in the suit, it's like, all right, he's gonna fuck with Vince, but how's he gonna do it? And it was like this unpredictable. Wow, Duggan looks really silly with that crown. All right, get this. He's got an American flag, a 2x4, and a crown. How many props does this guy need?
Hacksaw's proud to be red, white, blue, but that guy seems a little pink to me, if you know what I mean.
Well, I know you mean business, and I know you love the flag. But what about Bobby?
The hospital scene? Yeah, exactly. There's a little bit more unpredictability to Austin when it got down to arrive, stun, drink beer, leave, that whole bit. Then it got really tired.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan was born on the 4th of July, but I know he died to protect the Stars and Stripes. Let's go back to you.
Yeah, Duggan.
Rick Rude awaiting the entrance of the new King of the World Wrestling Federation, who'll be riding in style. Take a look at that, Jesse. Performance capacity crowd. Yes, indeed.
God, he's even getting the jobbers carrying him out, Andrew. That's such a heel thing to do. Yeah, King Duggan wasn't one of my favorites, but it just didn't fit. It didn't fit Duggan. It's like doing King Dusty Rhodes. It just doesn't fit. Yeah, it was weird. The crown was like kind of cheated or kind of treated as like this mini championship almost. That could be defended and passed around.
We just had a reunion. Oh, really? Yeah. Well, he's going to be honoring you all right when he takes the Intercontinental Championship. Take a look at it. That's a sight for sore eyes there. Look at this. Look at this guy. He believes he's king, don't he? Who's king?
King of America?
Well, he's facing the Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, let's start a USA chant, even though Rick Rude is from Minnesota, right? Like, he's from Minnesota, right? He's got a crown, the U.S. flag, a cape, and a crown. It's like, Jesus Christ. It's like every 80s gimmick just vomited, and out came King Duggan. Oh!
He definitely doesn't want to suffer the embarrassment of not only having Duggan taking Haku's crown, but as well taking Ravishing Rick Rude's Intercontinental title. Bobby Heenan, the manager of King Haku, when he lost his crown, he's going to be the manager here, as we know.
Minnesota is near Canada, therefore he's Canadian. Close enough. It was the 80s. Yeah, it was the 80s.
Rick Rude setting up Big Duggan. No, nice reversal.
Sunset flip by Rude. Duggan. No, gets a shot. Boom. Clothesline and out and up and over goes Rude. Suplex by Duggan. A wrestling move by Jim Duggan. Look at that. 1, 2. Yeah, it seemed like Minnesota was like a wrestler factory for a while where like a lot of great talents came out of there. Clotheslines and clotheslines. It looks like Duggan's working the comeback up and down. He just did a flare face flop there. Body slam by Duggan. Boom. Knee drop by Duggan. 1, 2. No. Oh, shot to the gut by Rude. Versus the clothesline. Oh, gets a foot in Duggan's face. He hit him in the face. No big loss, right? Rude going up top. Oh, clobbers Duggan. Swivel the hips.
It's impossible for Rude to lose the Intercontinental title. There it is, right around his waist. Yeah, well, not the one he has to protect. Ravishing Rick Rude better stop with the shenanigans, because if he gives Hacksaw Jim Duggan an extra moment, Duggan will pour it right back.
Did Rude ever feud with Hogan? No, they never did. Supposedly, Hogan didn't like working with him. Inverted atomic drop, and Rude is not doing well. But apparently, Hogan thought that he was too rough in the ring and didn't like working with him. A pile driver by Duggan? Look at that! All right! This is one of the best Duggan matches I've ever seen. Oh, Rude got his foot on the rope. No, 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 no. There's the former king, Haku. If Ravishing Rick didn't leave WWF, do you think he could have been WWF champ? In that early 90s period, yes. Yes. If he had stuck around to like 92 when guys like Warrior and Hogan were and Savage was kind of cutting back, and if he stayed around in that period, yes. He would have been like, I would have loved to have seen Rude work with guys like Shawn and Brett. I think they could have done some great stuff with each other. Here's Rick. Drop kick by Rick. Look at this. This is a good match. Yes, I just called the Hacksaw Jim Duggan match good. Rude's in control.
Gives Ravishing Rick Rude time to recover. Changes the whole match. Now it's all Ravishing Rick Rude.
Although if you want my favorite Jim Duggan match, check out a match he had with Ted DiBiase in Mid-South. Get this. It was a tuxedo, steel cage, coal miner's glove on a pole match. And it sounds like an overbooked mess. It was legitimately an awesome match. Cannot keep Hacksaw down.
What is this now? What kind of hold? Look, he has a forearm over his nose, trying to break his nose, Jesse. Look. Well, I'll tell you this, if he straightens Hacksaw's nose out, he'll look a lot better, won't he? It's not a question of how he looks. It's a question of his effectiveness. And the king of the world wrestling.
Sounds like Russo's wet dream, right? It's a pole match, it's a tuxedo match, and it's a cage match. It's like Russo's playbook, but it's legitimately a great match.
Ravishing Rick Rude. He thinks when he's in there, McMahon. He just doesn't go totally on instinct.
How the hell does that Russo-esque match even work? They just wore the tuxedos. They didn't make it about taking the tuxedos off. Oh, big fist drop from Rude. Oh, he kisses at the camera too. That's disgusting. I hate it when the heels act like heels. I'm Vince McMahon, and I favor the baby faces. Oh, here comes Duggan. But anyway, going back to that match, the tuxedo part was more like window dressing and not really, didn't really fit into the rules of the match. And they made the coal miner glove shot the big high spot of the match, and it worked. The match worked really well. Duggan's coming back. Back body drop. Rude went flying. 3-point stance. He got it, but Rude flung it. Oh, Rude got clobbered and fell out of the ring. Duggan, go get him. You gotta want to win the title, right? Okay, Duggan just pulled a SummerSlam 93 Lex Luger. He knocked him out of the ring, and he's like, yeah, I won. And it's like, well, yeah, but you don't win the title, you moron. Yeah, he wins, but he doesn't win the title, so he's an idiot. The fans are stupid. Memorial Day weekend.
Because that idiot standing right there on the ring post, not these people, that guy right there, he don't even realize it. Realize what? You can't win the title on a count out. Everybody in the World Wrestling Federation knows that, except for this guy, probably. Nonetheless, Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Okay. My dad and I were watching a James Bond movie, License to Kill. What do you think of that one? It's the better of the two Timothy Dalton ones. It's a good one. It's enjoyable, but it has a couple issues with it. But overall, I think it's a good one. God, Duggan looks like he can barely carry all that stuff.
Tonight your opponent is going to be the Macho Man, Randy Savage. He is the former World Wrestling Federation.
Randy Savage versus Jim Neidhart. Interesting little pairing.
Why? Because I hate him. I hate the way he treated Miss Elizabeth. I hate the way he acted when he wore the championship belt. And I'm going to make sure he never gets another shot at it. He may be able to push women around, but you ain't going to punch the apple, baby. You want Hulk Hogan's belt? you gotta go through me. And without Miss Elizabeth by your side, you aren't much of a man.
Let me bring up the subject of the
God, Neidhart was like,
manager. She is sensational Sherry. What about this gal? What do you make of her? She's always at his side.
Scary Sherry. He's got her by the
oh yeah, well I have the whole Bond series on DVD, so I'm pretty familiar with him.
And this old dog does more than bark.
This was at a time where WWF experimented with breaking up the Hart Foundation. Yes, yes. They were actually going to go ahead with it right after Hart Foundation dropped the belts to the Rockers in that famous match that never aired. And it's, you know, it's interesting. They were kind of, it's clearly something they wanted to do, but never quite pulled the trigger on until 91. Is Mission Impossible Fallout really that good? I haven't seen any of the Mission Impossible movies. I should get in on that.
I'm not going to ask you about WrestleMania 5 because I know you're looking to the future. I know you're looking to get your belt back. I know you, Macho Man, and I know that I'm right.
There's Sherry with Macho Man.
You're 1,000% right. Yeah, after I get past Jim Neidhart, I'm going after you. Yeah, I am. I'm going right after you. There's nothing that you can do about it because I'm coming after you and get my World Wrestling Federation Championship belt back. Yeah, and that lady outside the ring, that woman won't bury me like she did with distractions before. Never again.
You mean Miss Elizabeth?
Yeah, I'm telling you something. Don't say that name. Never again.
You got it, Macho Man. Let's talk about Sensational Sherry, your new manager. How's she working out?
What did you think when Sherry joined HBK in 92? It was big for Sean because she was a known character and a great manager. She worked well with Savage. She worked well with Ted. So it was like, oh, that's a good pairing for Sean. It's makes his job getting over that much easier because he's got Sherry with him. So I like the pairing.
That chicken-legged, bony excuse for a woman. She was no wrestler, and she's certainly no lady. She is history.
Ooh. Yeah. Oh, yes, still out sensational Sherry. Come on down, we're going to climb that first step of the mountain, get past Jim Neidhart, and on to Hulk Hogan. Yeah, walk this way. Yeah.
The Macho Man Randy Savage is on his way back, Hulk Hogan. Keep your eyes open. And I'm on my way back, Jack McMahon. Keep your lips shut.
All right, we are ready now for the matchup involving the annual Jim.
Wow, Neidhart's logo looks terrifying. That thing is terrifying.
Who would like to be the title holder once again? And there, Sensational Sherry, or is it Scary Cherry? Oh no, you mean the judge of that? Nonetheless, you can bet the Hulkster is looking on with a very avid interest here. The Hulkster preparing for his matchup.
What did you think of Batista and Spectre? He was fine. He was basically just the muscle guy, the muscled up henchman, and for that role, I thought he did fine. What about when Sherry joined Harlem Heat? She did well with them. That was probably her weirdest pairing because she didn't look like she had that much in common with them, but I thought it was. I thought they did well together. And then they tried Sherry as a babyface in '93. Yeah, that's a shame that they couldn't really do much with her. But yeah, I don't know. I think it could have worked. They'd run with it a little bit. Better tag team breakup: the Rockers or DIY? For the moment, like the barbershop window is so iconic. I'll say the split for the actual moment was better. The feud between Gargano and Ciampa is much better though because Marty and Sean, Marty kept getting booted off TV, so yeah, so they couldn't really get the feud much momentum. Savage's theme is the graduation theme. Yep, pomp and circumstance. Sherry's already grabbing at Neidhart's leg. Oh! Sunset flip. Oh, pin by Neidhart. Nope. I think Marty has the record for most times being fired in WWE history. He might. Oh, bear hug by Neidhart. Young Buck said that Marty helped him a lot in their early days. Well, good for Marty, because I think proof is in the pudding. The Bucks are one of the best things in wrestling right now.
Take a look at that. Yes, that is no Miss Elizabeth. Not by a long shot. This is a different human being altogether, and I think one far suited.
Knee to the back, and Neidhart goes Bret Hart style into the corner almost. Big clothesline. In the time we've started talking about Marty, he's been hired and fired 12 times by WWE. Jesus.
I think that was a direct order. I don't think it was a request. Look at this one. She is possessed. Oh, wait a minute. There she goes.
There she is, like, choking Neidhart. I always liked Sherry. She just looked like the most unhinged person.
Sherry is deadly. She's the former women's champion. So she can get in there and mix it up. She can do that all right. She must be about 150 pounds. And she knows how to get around in the ring. Look at that.
Jesus, look at her go.
On the angle. As I said, McMahon, Macho is going to be deadlier than ever now. He got rid of that albatross around his neck. Albatross, the only thing that was class around him was the First Lady of the World Wrestling Federation was a little bit.
Double axe handle by Savage. 1, 2, no. Ah, falls over. 1, 2, no.
And Sherry, with a look of concern on her face. She was the Macho Man moves right back in. She don't look happy, does she? That's not a happy woman. That's an intense woman.
What did you think of the HBK Rick Martel match from SummerSlam 92? I enjoyed that match. It was goofy as hell, but a lot of gaga in there, but I thought it was funny. Oh, slingshot! Shoulder tackle by Jim Neidhart. I was talking about one of the best matches of Duggan's career. This is one of probably the best singles match of Neidhart's career. Because he's a guy that was perennial. He was just always a tag guy and always worked best as a tag guy. But this is a pretty solid match. Granted, he's with Randy Savage, but big clothesline. 1, 2, no. Was Savage the first guy to do the double axe handle from the top to the outside? To the outside, I don't know. He's the first one I ever saw do it. Andre did it first. I sincerely hope not. That sounds like it would be horrible. I wouldn't want to be the one that has to catch Andre coming off the top rope to the outside with a double axe handle. Oh, drop kick by Neidhart. I always wish Savage would have just started rapping mid-promo. That would have been hilarious. Power slam by Anvil. 1, 2, no. Giant Gonzalez got a match at the Tokyo Dome. I shit you not. I'm sure he did. Now Savage is caught in the ropes, Andre style. Sherry unties him. Oh, Anvil just ran and missed and just flung himself outside the ring. Andre did the first ever Hurricane Rana too. Again, I sincerely hope not. Oh, double axe handle. Head goes into the steel guardrail. Bad night for Jim. I've heard that Big Show, when he first broke in, he could do a Hurricane Rana. I've heard that. Which I'm like, why? Here we go. Savage going up top. And the elbow. 1, 2, 3. Solid match. Another good match there. Nice, and the match also, gives Savage a big TV win. after WrestleMania 5, and it puts over what Sherry brings to the table as his manager. So they accomplished a lot with that match. When you want to see a guy that size do a Hurricane Rana once in a while, I don't know how it would work. Like, what situation would a guy that big need to, like, do what's essentially a flying head scissors to a guy like half his size? Like, what?
At the holster in the WWF title for the Big Boss Man in a steel cage on national television. How did you do it?
Slickly. Very slickly.
Slickly. He did it slickly, guys. Here we go. We've got Hogan versus Boss Man in a steel cage. They had a series of steel cage matches on the house show loop and the house show touring, and they were very well received and did very well. My favorite one they had was in Madison Square Garden, which I got to see on a Best of Hulk Hogan tape back in the day.
I'm going to rehabilitate you. When you come through, I'm going to do it.
I mean, Hogan and Boss Man worked well with each other.
And I've got the only key. You're going to throw some hard down.
I'm shocked this didn't open the show. Yeah, they're typically the front-loaded Saturday Night's Main Events, but they're doing it in the middle. And the closing match is, let's see what the closing match for this episode is. It's Superfly Jimmy Snuka versus Boris Zukov. That's your closer for tonight. Have you seen Scott Steiner pull off his top rope Frankensteiner recently? He can still do it. I have seen it, yes. And Scott Steiner's a freak. And everyone ended with a superplex off the cage. R.I.P. Hogan's back. Yeah. They always did that spot in those matches, and I'm sure it's like, God, that couldn't have been fun. Oh, we're getting it. You told him quite a story, said I love her forevermore. But the trouble is they tell the same old story to every girl that walks through the door. This is the Slickster talking at you, honey. Yeah! Nash once said Big Show could do a moonsault, but he refused to take it. I wouldn't take a moonsault from Big Show either.
My surprise is 6 feet 11 inches tall.
Snuka versus Zukov, a main event at any Juggalo event.
My surprise is Zeus.
Zeus?
Wow, take a look at that, McMahon. That man is a monster. And here is a guest of the Doctor of Style, the Slickster. You know, he's the real star of No Holds Barred, not Hogan. That's a matter of opinion, Jeff.
They're even using the music from the movie as like his entrance music.
Whether it's in the film No Holds Barred, but the Slickster has him here at ringside where he doesn't belong. There's no reason for this monster to be down here at the steel cage.
And he's going to meet Hogan at the entrance of the cage.
Tell me that ain't a leading man's face right there. I'm not so sure of that. I love that look at Zeus.
So Roman still main events over the world champion. Yeah. What did I miss? My computer died. Well, so far on Saturday night's main event, we've had Rick Rude versus Jim Duggan for the IC title. Savage defeating Jim Neidhart, and now we're getting Hogan versus Bossman in a steel cage match for the WWF title, where Hogan is now coming face to face with his No Holds Barred co-star, Zeus.
This man should be sent back to the dressing room. What is going on? Apparently, Zeus wants a real life confrontation here, McMahon. This ain't the movies here. This is nose to nose.
Brian Christopher just died. Jesus. That's unfortunate. That's really sad. Oh, he kicked Hogan. Now he's clobbering Hogan.
Zeus is a maniac just hammering the Hulkster. And what a surprise to Hogan. He's still got to face the boss man. Look at Zeus is just leaving him laying. There's the champ.
From 1 to 10, how much do you still enjoy WWE? 0, because I'm not watching Raw, SmackDown, or the pay-per-views right now. I still watch NXT, so if that gives WWE any points. Hogan's still down. Jeez. Who says Hogan never sells? You need to react to Halloween Havoc 1995. Oh, yeah. Brian Christopher, that is Grandmaster Sexay from Too Cool back in the day. Now, Boss Man, he's going to throw the limp Hogan back into the ring. He's also Jerry Lawler's son, who was a troubled soul, if I was going to put it mildly. Boss Man's choking Hogan with the shirt. Hogan is down.
Hogan's t-shirt. The referee does nothing but sit outside the ring and determine who gets out of the cage first. Big Boss Man on a headbutt, and thus far, thanks to ZEUS, this has been all Big Boss Man. Boss Man moving in on the holster in the corner now. Breaks the fingers down his back. Hogan's in for some punishment. Nobody walks out of these matches unscathed.
Oh, Hogan comes back with a clothesline.
I can't remind you anything else. There are no rules in a cage match. You can see this is right down Hogan's alley because now he can cheat like crazy.
Oh, big boot by Hogan. Hogan's gonna climb out of the cage.
Boss Man is something to contend with. He has wanted to become World Wrestling Federation champion. Well, the thing about the Boss Man is he must feel right at home inside the bars, McMahon, because we all know he's
Body slam. Boss Man back in control. Big splash by Boss Man. Jeez. Do you prefer escape rules or pinfall rules in a cage match? No preference. I just think it should be one or the other. Like, I don't like it when they have both. Hogan stops Boss Man from getting out. Yeah, to me, it's like it should be either escape or pinfalls and submissions. Doing both just makes it too creates too many scenarios where it's like, well, why wouldn't he go for the pin while he's down instead of trying to climb out the cage? Oh, spine buster by Boss Man.
What's he saying? I don't know. He's saying something to Hogan, reading him his rights, maybe. I doubt that very seriously. It looks like the Big Boss Man now will make his attempt to go out again.
Boss Man's gonna climb out. I don't think Hogan's gonna win this one, guys. Remember when Big Boss Man was WWF champion in 1989 for a brief spell? Boss Man's already, wow, he's already like almost out of the cage. Owen versus Brett is the best steel cage match. It's up there. It's one of the best for sure. Did you hear Gail Kim say if she ever returned to wrestle, it would be for Impact? I don't blame her. They're the ones that actually let her work and gave her reputation for being a really good worker. Superplex! Superplex off the top of the cage. Jesus! Insane. That is crazy. Boss Man had a reign longer than Okada. Yeah. I like the big blue bar cage. A lot of people don't like it. Let me put it this way. You couldn't have done that spot on a cyclone fence. There's no way that Hogan could have gotten his feet positioned properly to do that spot. My dream match is still Gail versus Sasha as a heel. That probably could be good. Both men are down. The referee's going in there. It's like, what do we do? But had Gail never been in WWE, would TNA have ever wanted her if she came in when TNA was getting everyone with any ties to WWE? Well, I also heard she was friends with Tracy Brooks, and that's how they kind of like Tracy Brooks apparently put in a good word for her. Boss Man has the longest title reign, 26 years. Yeah. Best rough bump spot. Actually, I thought Ciampa and Aleister Black had a pretty good one on NXT this week. And Pentagon and Sami Callihan had a pretty good one at Slammiversary. And actually, Hogan sits up Undertaker style. He's crawling for the door. But, we're going to see it on Saturday night's main event in the future, but there's a Tito Santana Mr. Perfect match that I thought had an effective ref bump, too. Boss Man stops Hogan.
Pulling the Hulkster back in. They're still going at it now. Hogan goes right to the eyes. Oh, yeah, it's okay as long as your buddy does it. The big Boss Man. Whip down. No.
Oh, clothesline by Boss Man.
What a maneuver out of Boss Man. Boss Man hooked that top rope through Hogan.
I expected the ref to be dead after he got bumped onto the concrete during the Ciampa Black match. Yeah. That was like, okay, that's it. Slick, what did he just throw in there? Are those the handcuffs? It's a chain. Slick just threw a chain into Boss Man. Yeah, funny thing, the Taker versus Triple H WrestleMania 17 match, the referee is still unconscious at the Astrodome.
He's wrapping whatever that chain up in his hand. Boss Man moving into the kill. The Hulkster's championship slowly, but perhaps surely, slipping away from him.
The Boss Man's going to attack. No! Hogan blocks. Fighting back. Oh, right to the eyes. And Hogan, no! Oh, they both go face first into the cage. Both men are down again. Dare I say, the Boss Man Hogan cage matches are better than the Orndorff Hogan cage match from '87? Would that be fair to say? Does anyone else agree? 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, Boss Man goes down. Now Hogan's got the chain.
He's going to stoop to this level. Wait just a minute. Hulk Hogan in front of all the hosts.
Oh, punches him with the chain. Why do we even need refs in an unsanctioned match? Somebody's got to count the pin, I guess. Do you have any hope that at all that WWE will ever be good again? I don't anymore. Oh, Boss Man's cut. He's bleeding. Boom. I forgot that Boss Man bladed in this match. I remember him bleeding in the MSG one. Hogan drops the big leg. Slick is not happy. Do you find it funny how Steph gets booed and Triple H gets cheered because of NXT? It is kind of funny. Slick, you just made a mistake, buddy. Down goes Slick. Now it's a race. Boss Man's trying to climb out. Nope. Oh, crotched on the top. Bad landing for Boss Man. Now, which is worse? WCW 90. Oh, Slick gets clobbered. Vince is like, he just served it. Boss Man is handcuffed to the top rope. The Boss Man can still get out. Photo finish. Hurry, Hogan. Hurry. Jesus, dude. Hogan got it. Great match. Damn. Okay, to answer your question, which is worse, 95 WCW or 2000 WCW? I would say 2000 WCW because that was a clear sign that the company was dying. 95, the shit with the Dungeon of Doom was kind of hilarious, and I kind of like it because it was hilarious. It's terrible. I'm not defending it, but I laughed at it, so I kind of got like a sick enjoyment out of it. Now Hogan's gonna club that black man. Oh, poor Slick. Oh, high five. And Slick goes right into the cage. Do you think there was a way to save 2000 WCW, or was it a foregone conclusion that they were going to die? No, because I think AOL Time Warner, the merger, was just they were going to flush it down the drain regardless. Is there any year for WWE worse than WCW 2000? Oh my God. Like 2009, like Raw was so terrible during that point. And then SmackDown was really good. And then they ruined it by having Taker beat Punk. So it's like 2009 was like the dark ages to me. When Mark Henry and Big Show broke the ring at Vengeance 2011, were you like, oh, that was cool? Or, man, they're trying to rehash Big Show versus Lesnar? A little of both. It was cool, but it's like, it also had that era of, I've seen it before, you know? But I didn't, like, hate it. It was like, oh, it's cool that they brought that back. But it didn't have the same energy that the first one did. Hulk Hogan was always a racist. Yeah. People within WCW in '96 knew WCW was going to die when the merger happened. Yeah. Did Hogan just put the nightstick in his trunks? I'm not even going to read into that. Now we got Demolition versus the Ooh! Brainbusters. I like that logo. That's a nice one. Tag titles up next. Demolition versus the Brainbusters. This is going to be fun. This is the first of 2 Saturday Night's Main Event tag title matches between these two teams. They would have one, I believe, at 22, the next one, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
You all just saw Ravishing Rick Rude. He is still the Intercontinental Champion. And very shortly, you're going to see...
Ew. What's ew?
Quite a night for Bobby Heenan.
Taker really killed some big pushes, but it never gets talked about. Yeah, he has. Sorry, it's true.
We all win. That's right, Bobby. That's right. Tully Blanchard, when you joined Bobby Heenan, did you think the title shot would quickly? Jesse, Bobby told us it would happen if we believed in ourselves. We believed it.
Now I never hear people say anything about WCW 99. How was it? It was awful, terrible. That was when the shit really started to hit the fan. What's your favorite tag team match? Oh, God, there's too many. Too many. I could sit here all day. Yeah, WCW was always on borrowed time. Yeah. Turner's people didn't like wrestling. Turner was the one that liked it, and once he was kind of no longer allowed to make that decision, it was just a matter of time. Oh, putting the nightstick in his trunks. Yeah, that is it. Ew. Yeah, the Taker's title win in 09 ruined all of SmackDown. And people defended it at the time because like, oh, but we'll get the Jericho Undertaker match. I'm like, number one, you don't have to put the title on Taker to make that match happen. Number two, they did the match on SmackDown and nobody remembers it. So tell me again if it was worth it.
Gentlemen, tonight you have a critical match against the Brainbusters. Bobby Heenan is waiting for this opportunity.
Yeah, I love the finish to the Big Show JBL match. I love the finish to that match. Match itself was but I really love the finish.
I say this is the night of champions. Heenan and the Egg Beaters, they're nothing but chumps. We got the belts.
All right, Smash, you meet the powers of Pain and Mr. Fuji in WrestleMania 5. But tonight, can you beat Bobby Heenan and the Brainbusters on Saturday night's main event?
Beat them. We'll demolish them. We're the demolition. We're the champs. Come on, Axe.
WCW first half of 99 wasn't bad. The second half of 99 was when it got bad. It was just kind of like, it felt like they were struggling to find a direction because the NWO had pretty much run its course. And they kept going back to like a lot of the old tried and true things. And of course, Goldberg was ruined, which didn't help. But Punk still says he's not interested in wrestling. That doesn't surprise me. JBL is Jinder Mahal done right. You know what? Not untrue. I like JBL as champion. Find you. There's no place to hide. The devils will get you. Pain and destruction is our middle name. How would you have ended the NWO? Well, if Eric Bischoff is to be believed, the original plan was to like complete a brand split, like have the NWO become its own show. And if that was the end game, it should have gotten to that point, and it never got to that point. Oh, ooh, Tully. Oh, there's the clothesline. Tully avoided a big boot there, but then got clobbered. Demolition theme is the best. It's drop down, smash with a bear hug. Oh, but Arn Anderson gets the sneak attack in. Oh, clothesline by Smash. Arn ducks. Up, and he gets in two. During that whole run, I wanted somebody to beat JBL. I would rage every time he would win, and then he goes to face Cena at WrestleMania, and when I finally cheer for him, he loses. Wop wop. That's how that happens. I heard that WCW in 2000 had like 300 wrestlers under contract, but didn't use half of them or something. I don't know if it was that many, but they always had a pretty big roster. Oh. Oh, Arn gets clobbered. They are hammering away. They are axe and smashing poor Arn Anderson. Headlock by Smash. Oh, Tully gets a cheap shot. Arn. Nice stalling suplex there. But Smash is like, fuck you. I didn't feel shit. Body slam by Smash. Body slam by Axe, atomic drop, and into a body slam by Axe. The Brainbusters just can't deal with the power of Demolition. They're too strong, man. WCW had Christopher Daniels in 2000, but didn't use it much at all. Yeah, I remember that. Undisputed in NXT uses a move called the Axe and Smash. Yeah, well, oh God. Axe is like, your chops do nothing. Now he's beating the shit out of Tully. Here comes Tully. Oh, into a bear hug from Axe. Brainbusters are getting thrown around like crazy. Time to run, Tully. Anyway. I kind of like the Jay White character. He's a chicken shit heel who gets opportunities he shouldn't get, unlike his fellow young lions like Juice. WCW had Savage's brother under contract for 5 years and never used him once. That sounds like a pretty sweet deal if he was getting paid. David Finlay, yeah. Are you going to end the stream after Saturday night's main event? Yes, because I have to. I'm driving up to Frederick, which is about an hour away, so I've got somewhere to be tonight. Were the Brainbusters finisher a double Brainbuster? I wish. That'd be perfect. Oh, Bobby Heenan kind of losing his temper. Got a date? No, I don't. No, I'm meeting up some old college friends for a birthday.
Somebody to embarrass you like that sometime, really. You're an embarrassment all the time anyway to me.
Do you care if Pink returns anymore? I don't. What, like the pop star Pink? I don't really care, no. Best Halloween Havoc, in your opinion? Trying to think. Probably 97, because that was the one that had Eddie and Ray and Savage and DDP. Even though it had like a shitty, I think the main event was like Hogan and Piper, and the match was shitty. It's like, yeah, but those two other matches were so great. Oh man, Brainbusters are in control. Snapmare and smash.
Just kicking away. It's Arn Anderson. You know what I like about this style, McMahon? Demolition has been dishing it out this whole bout. Now let's see if they can take it. I can take it, all right.
Here comes Tully off the top. Oh, nice. What is the best WWE pay-per-view that is not one of the big four? Again, there's so many pay-per-views over the year. I don't even know. I wouldn't even know where to start, to be honest. Spinebuster! Smash kicks out.
Nothing more than he would like than 2 championship belts in the Heenan family. Tully Blanchard taunting Axe as Smash now. Over on the rope. What are you going to do, Ray? Elbow get it back of the head and again. Referee's back his turn.
Dream match, Okada versus Mitsuharu Misawa. I didn't watch enough of Misawa to have like a full, like, fully developed opinion of him. Fully Loaded 2000. Fully Loaded 2000 was a really good show. I remember really liking that one. You had Jericho and Triple H in the Last Man Standing. You had Rock and Benoit in the main event. I remember there was a Hardy Boys match in the opener. I think it was them versus TNA with Trish Stratus thrown in. And that was when they started doing a lot of the triple-double moves that were really cool. And Rikishi versus Val Venus in the steel cage was pretty good. Smash powers out of the hammerlock, but no, he gets tripped up. Yeah, I remember Backlash 2000 being pretty good as well. No Way Out 2001, I have no memory of, except for the main event. I think it was like Austin, RVD, and Angle for the title. Do you think Chad Gable and Zack Sabre Jr. could have a good match? Yes, I think they could. Money in the Bank 2011, yeah, that was a great one. No Mercy 2008. Which one was No Mercy 2008? Was that the Shawn Jericho ladder match? Yeah, that's an underrated match, the Rikishi Val Venus cage match. And Smash and Anderson go down.
Simultaneously landing right hands on each other's chin. Smash on the move.
Yeah, I'll have to get on the Masawa viewing spree at some point.
Who's gonna get to the corner first? That's the question, McMahon.
Oh, look at Tully. He's sneaking around.
You can see Arn Anderson preventing the tag and Tully Blanchard sneaking over on Smash. No, he's sneaking over. He's got Axe. Yes, he has Axe.
Oh, he pulled Axe off the apron. Prevented the tag.
Get the guy off the apron. Can't make a tag from the floor. Ooh, there's a tag.
Oh, and then Anderson knocked Axe off the friggin' apron.
And Smash.
And now Demolition's just like, fuck this. Yeah, no hot tag. We're not doing that shit. We're just going to beat the crap out of him. Oh, and Axe just threw the referee. There's your DQ. Yeah, I think Axe and Smash are mad.
I don't know what the verdict's going to be on this vote. Yep, there's the bell. Oh, this is robbery. Robbery. Demolition got themselves disqualified intentionally to hold on to the titles, McMahon. Listen, they were so frustrated, Jesse. Frustrated like that. You're trying to make me buy that. Buy it. Who do you think you're talking to in here? The winners of this contest, as a result of a disqualification, the Brain Buster. Look at Demolition acting surprised.
Demolition's not done yet. Here we go. More Busters, more Demolition. Yeah. God, they're fighting up the aisleway. No Mercy 2002 was really good despite having Katie Vick. Yeah. And you know the funniest part about that? The main event of that pay-per-view was Taker versus Lesnar in the it was Taker versus Lesnar in the Hell in a Cell. And the build-up for that was Heyman tried to concoct this whole thing like Undertaker had an affair with this woman and was trying to ruin Undertaker's life while Sarah was pregnant or some stupid shit. It was really dumb. Nobody remembers it because of how bad Katie Vick was. So it's like SmackDown did this really stupid angle that nobody remembers.
Hiding and ducking Hulk Hogan. I am now the #1 contender. Yeah. I'm going to get my World Wrestling Federation Championship belt back. I promise. Yeah. And at the same time, I'm going to teach you a lesson. Yeah. I'm going to teach you a lesson. And you won't be fit to be a movie star. Yeah.
If WWE decides to do it, do you think they should do four horsewomen of WWE versus 4 horsewomen from UFC at Evolution or at WrestleMania 35? Probably do that at Survivor Series. Do something different at Evolution, do the Survivor Series match, and then do the bigger matches at WrestleMania.
Wild on you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Savage and Sherry, two peas in a pod. Is Slick okay? What's he doing back out there? Superfly. Superfly, Jimmy Snuka. Let me tell you something, brother. WWE won't do it at Survivor Series because of the brand war shit. Well, okay, going back to the Demolition Brainbusters match. That match ending in a DQ would actually set up a rematch at the next Saturday night's main event. So we're going to get to watch that next week. Savage and Sherry sound like they like violent sex. Probably. Yeah, Jimmy Snuka was an interesting character, to say the least, both in and outside of the ring. Do you think sometimes younger fans don't respect the rock and wrestling era? Because some of my wrestling friends hate that era. I mean, it's not for everybody. I mean, a lot of people, the NWA crowd hated the Rock and Wrestling stuff. I loved it, but you know.
He can still get up, McMahon. That's his forte. Snuka. Lawrence rammed down to the knee. UAC. Superfly adjusting. Those knee pads.
I think with younger people, there's a tendency to. It's like kids that don't like black and white movies. They just don't like things that are older than them. They don't like the parents' shit. So, Snuka will fly. 1, 2, 3, and this match was mercifully short. Thank God. I talked to someone who said they hated wrestling after Hogan beat Andre. That's a weirdly specific thing to stop watching wrestling for. You watched the build-up to No Mercy 2002 on SmackDown on the network. Yeah, that Taker angle was shit, right? Oh, I love old music. New music is, oh God, I can't stand most modern music, but rock music from the 80s and before that, fucking gold. Love it.
Mean Gene Okerlund is standing by with the champion. Take it, Mean Gene.
Congratulations, Hulk Hogan, your first network title defense of the World Wrestling Federation Championship that you won back at WrestleMania 5. However, tonight, in the steel cage, things didn't start out the way you would have anticipated.
Well, that's exactly right, Mean Gene. You know, I've been having problems with this ZEUS guy for a long time now. Before the filming of the movie, during the filming of the movie, and now after. He's still jumping up in my face. As far as I'm concerned.
Oh, he was causing problems on set?
Come on down to the
Was it better than the was it better than the build to Vince versus Taker from Survivor Series 2003? I mean, the build up to that was okay. It was more the build up to the Stephanie Vince I Quit match that was the shitty one that I remember.
Well, you know, I can't wait to lay this one on all my Hulkamaniacs.
I think everyone prefers music older than them. Yeah, I do.
I'm laying out a personal invitation to come on down and see my new movie. You know, you've seen me in world title matches. You just saw me in a steel cage match, but you never seen Hulk Hogan when there are no holds barred, Mean Gene.
Saturday Night Main Event continues when we return.
Plug for the movie. Gotta plug the movie.
Well, Jesse, have you enjoyed yourself here in Des Moines?
I'm 15 and I still enjoy the original Frankenstein. I love the original Frankenstein. Bride of Frankenstein, that one's my favorite of the classic Universal monster movies.
In July. Wait a minute, I thought I was through with you. So long, everybody. What is this?
All right, and that concludes the 21st episode of Saturday Night's Main Event. Great episode. So much in there. I mean, these shows are barely over an hour on the network. Obviously, they cut out the commercials, but they got so much in there. Like, the Hogan Bossman cage match was great. I liked the tag title match between Demolition and the Brainbusters. I even liked Rude versus Duggan. I thought that was a solid match. And Savage versus Neidhart was a good match. So there was a lot of good stuff on that show. And, of course, the debut of the Human Wrecking Machine, ZEUS, which was one of the big storyline points to happen throughout the show. So, yeah, that was, really enjoyable episode of The Clash, and I really like that episode of Saturday Night's Main Event. So, once again, another really good stream where I got to watch really good shows. What commercials do you think they showed? I couldn't begin to imagine. I have no idea. I guess before I sign off today, I can make this point. My, best wishes, thoughts, and prayers go to the families of Nikolai Volkov and Brian Christopher, who passed away earlier today. That was probably the one downside to the stream, was getting that news and finding out that happened. So, Nikolai Volkov, I'm not sure how old he was, but it's still sad to see some of the guys that you grew up watching pass away. And Brian Christopher, that guy has always had problems and just led a very, very troubled life. And to hear it end the way that it did, it's not entirely surprising, but still sad all the same. So, I'm going to end on kind of a downer, but thank you all once again for joining me on this stream. Really enjoyed watching this week's episodes. Join me next week. We'll be watching Saturday Night's Main Event 22, which features Brutus Beefcake taking on Randy Savage, and the rematch between Demolition and the Brainbusters. And let me pull up the Clash of Champions, see what we'll be getting on that show as well, so I can appropriately plug it. We'll be watching 21. Yeah, we've only got 15 more to go, guys. We're getting close to the end. Okay, yeah, we're going to be getting an excellent... Oh, yes, I remember this match. We're going to be getting Sting versus Rick Rude in a King of Cable tournament match, and we're getting Ricky Steamboat and Shane Douglas against Barry Windham and Dustin Rhodes in a superb tag team match. If memory serves me right, that match is superb. So a lot of stuff to look forward to next week, and I can't wait to check them out. I think both shows next week are going to be a lot of fun. But that is all I have for you today. Thank you again for everybody that joined me, and y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend.